Chapter 782. Wealth, 1. 32 billion points. Vitality, 70,600 calories, 70,600 calories. Mentality, 4,010 Hz, 5,399 Hz. Destructive power, 35 yuan, 35 yuan. Storage space, 10,000 cubic meters, plus, energy shield, 1 point/minute, plus, aura simulation, 10 points/minute, plus, origin detailed analysis, 10-100 million points/time. It really has something to do with Origin Dao. When he saw the changes in the system panel, Fang Ping murmured. The bone honing was completed, and it was no longer displayed. Fang Ping could roughly guess the last line of Origin Detailed Analysis. In an instant. Is it analyzing Origin Dao? Watching a short movie mode? Fang Ping quickly thought of a rough way to use it. Just like how Wu Quishan watched the Rose City Lord's Origin Dao back then, the system might be watching other people's martial arts path. 10 million to 100 million points. Is this a robbery? Fang Ping could not help but curse. What kind of joke was this? This was 100 billion and 1 trillion wealth. Would it cost so much money to watch Origin Dao once? The key was that it was divided into times. How long was one time? Was it the kind that did not charge money for not learning it? Or did he pay the tuition fee? Whether he learned it or not, there would be no refund. With the system's nature, the probability of a refund was almost non-existent. Origin Dao was not something that could be learned just by watching it once. If I'm a little stupid, I won't be able to learn it even after watching it hundreds of times. Won't I go bankrupt? As for the different consumption, Fang Ping knew why. The difference in strength and the length of the path they took were definitely different. This was definitely different. Also, where did the Origin Dao that I watched come from? Does the system exist on its own, or does it need someone else to provide it? At this moment, Fang Ping suddenly had some doubts. If he wanted to learn Origin Dao, was it provided by the system, or did he need a powerhouse of corresponding strength to observe it? I really want to try it, but I can't bear to. The key is that I tried it. If someone had to voluntarily provide me with Origin Dao to observe, only an idiot would do that. Powerhouses value their Origin Dao very much. Who would leak it? Not necessarily. Maybe I can take the initiative to peep. Countless thoughts flashed in Fang Ping's mind. As for the improvement of mentality, he had a rough idea. He had not consumed the 3 holy fruits yet, so he was not in a hurry. The last time the system upgraded, it provided me with rank 8 imperishable substances. This time, it was a rank 9's Dao of Origin. If the system were to be upgraded again, what else would it provide? Is it related to the summit? Or something related to the monarch realm? Or has he already reached the top? Fang Ping fell into deep thought. The system had already shown him the paths from rank 1 to rank 9. From bone honing in the 3 lower ranks, to simulated aura and cooperative cultivation in the 3 middle ranks, to celestiality at rank 7, destructive force at rank 8, Origin Dao at rank 9, it could be said that every time the system upgraded, it provided Fang Ping with a higher level source of power. But what about next time? After he reached rank 9, even if he was at the pinnacle, he was still a rank 9 and walking the path of Origin. What else could he offer next? What exactly is a system? Why can he even comprehend the Origin Dao? This is something that can't be done even in a desperate situation. Or, can the legendary emperor do it? Most of the time, Fang Ping did not want to think about these things, but at this moment, Fang Ping still felt a strong sense of interest and doubt. What kind of existence was this? Analysis of the Origin Dao. I wonder if I need to provide a sample. If I don't need it, then it's much simpler. I can just observe it directly. If I need it, then I'll have to find a rank 9 path of Origin powerhouse. Fang Ping found it hard to judge. After thinking about it, he decided that he should not waste his wealth points to probe. He was not in a hurry about the path of Origin. Instead, the honing of the golden body and the enhancement of mentality were pressing. The starting point is 10 million points each time. It might be related to strength. Maybe watching the path of the summit will consume 100 million points. They might not even let me see the path of the summit. Fan Ping had some guesses in his heart. 100 million points might not be the path of the summit. It might only be the path below the summit. This is good too. When I reach rank 9, I'm not in a hurry anymore. No, maybe I can try to comprehend the path of origin now. Fan Ping was still not too sure how a rank 8 could advance to rank 9. Rank 8 and rank 9, other than the difference in the path, he did not really understand what other differences there were. These, he could ask Old Man Li and the rest later. Guixingquan and the rest could not enter rank 9. That was because their golden body was not strong enough, not because of the path of origin. Once the golden body was strong enough and the path of origin was comprehended, what difference would there be between a rank 8 and a rank 9? Or could it be that rank 8 comprehending the path of origin might not have an amplified effect? I can only see it but not use it? Fan Ping made a judgment in his heart. Then, he did not care about this anymore. He did not care about Li Hansong who was breaking through outside. Iron Head was the first to advance to rank 8. He was not surprised at all. If he did not consume a lot of treasures to enhance his mentality, and only relied on the system to cultivate, he would not be as fast as Iron Head. That guy was born with a golden brain. This was something Fan Ping could not compare to. The system has recovered. I can cultivate my golden body now. I can also consume the holy fruit. 3 holy fruits appeared in Fan Ping's hand. He was slightly excited. How much could 3 holy fruits help him to improve? The brain nucleus appeared again. Fan Ping took out a holy fruit and took a deep breath. His mentality had already reached more than 5,000 Hz. The effect of the improvement now would not be as great as before. The maple fruit was around 4,000 Hz for him. It could be improved by close to 500 Hz. The big flower plate, which had a better effect, could only increase his mentality by about 400 Hz when faced with a barrier like 4,999 Hz. Although the holy fruit was stronger than all these, it was hard to say how much it could increase his mentality. I'll know after I try. In the next moment, Fan Ping crushed the holy fruit. As soon as the holy fruit was crushed, an extremely dense energy gushed out and began to rush into the brain nucleus. Sizzling sounds could be heard continuously. Fan Ping felt his head swell slightly. It felt a little overwhelming. On the system panel, the upper limit of his mentality was also increasing. 5,400 Hz, 5,500 Hz, 5,600 Hz. The improvement speed was extremely fast. From 5,399 Hz to 5,999 Hz in the blink of an eye. At this moment, Fan Ping felt the barrier. The energy was still gushing in, but the brain nucleus did not move. It only became more and more dazzling. Break. Fan Ping cursed in his heart. 1 holy fruit was worth 1 trillion. Could it not even break through a barrier like 6,000 Hz? Tianyu was a monster plant true king. It should not be this useless, right? Kacha, a faint cracking sound was heard again. More and more energy was gushing in from the holy fruit, but it soon began to weaken. The energy was almost exhausted. At this moment, Fan Ping's brain nucleus shook slightly. The crystal shards on the surface began to fall off. It's broken. Fan Ping breathed a sigh of relief. If 1 holy fruit could not even break through the 6,000 Hz barrier, then he could not expect to improve much this time. Once the barrier was broken, Fan Ping hurriedly continued to observe the changes in the data. 6,100 Hz, 6,200 Hz. At 6,200 Hz, the speed slowed down. The holy fruit's energy was also exhausted. Not bad. Fan Ping was still satisfied. Not only did he break through the barrier, but he also increased his mentality limit by about 800 Hz. This was already beyond his expectations. In that case, if I consume the second one, there's still hope to complete the breakthrough and break through 7,000 Hz. Even if the second one isn't enough, The third one should be enough. Fan Ping estimated that reaching 7,000 Hz and above should not be difficult. But it's still very troublesome. In that case, I can only complete the 7th refinement of Golden Body and enter the 8th refinement? Fan Ping frowned slightly. Then, he shook his head. Forget it. He would forge as many as he could. If I can achieve 7th refinement, my vitality will be more than 100,000 calories. I'll use destructive force to fight again. When that time comes, I'll also possess the combat strength of a real weak rank 9. Although it's not as good as Origin Dao powerhouses are not everywhere. I'm still not as good as Old Manly, but Old Manly still has his limits. I don't have to envy him. Fan Ping was actually quite envious of Myriad Dao unification. He did not have to suffer too many mentality shackles. However, Fan Ping felt that this might not be a good thing. Maybe it will be different. At least my mentality and physique will improve together. I have more tricks up my sleeves. I don't have to envy Old Manly. If I continue to develop in a balanced manner, I will definitely become stronger. Fan Ping comforted himself for a while. Myriad Dao unification must have a flaw. It was reflected now. If he had Old Manly's ability, he could fight more than 10 rank 9s. Even if he could not beat them, he could still cover them. Old Manly can't even cover me. Killing a rank 9 is as difficult as hell. He still has to be careful of others running away at any time. How can he compare to me? Now that my mentality has improved so much, I can continue to strengthen the Golden House. Maybe I shouldn't just strengthen the Golden House. I should expand the entire materialization. When that time comes, I can really turn it into a city and smash it directly. Fan Ping remembered his dream when he first entered rank 7. At that time, he wanted to materialize the earth and smash people. However, in the later stages, he gradually neglected this point. Or rather, he could not do it. Today, he was only strengthening the Golden House. A house, no matter how heavy it was still a house. However, what about a city? What about a world? Materialization and the real thing had the same weight. Turning illusions into reality and filling in imperishable substances would make it heavier. The goal is very long-term. I need to continue working hard. Fan Ping did not care anymore. He began to consume the second holy fruit. He consumed the second holy fruit. This time, Fan Ping did not break through the barrier. He only made his mentality reach 6,999 Hz. Fan Ping wanted to leave one for someone who needed it. However, at this time, he could not care so much. With a mentality as high as 7,000 Hz, other treasures might not be useful except for the holy fruit. A mentality of 7,000 Hz was actually the mentality of some veteran rank 9. It was very difficult for Fan Ping to find treasures that could increase a rank 9's mentality. Even Zhang Tao and the others might not be able to obtain them. He consumed the third holy fruit. This time, Fan Ping was satisfied. The barrier was broken through. Wealth 1. 32 billion points vitality, 70,600 calories, 70,600 calories, mentality, 4,010 Hz, 7399 Hz, destruction power, 35 yuan, storage space, 10,000 cubic meters, plus, energy shield, 1 point/minute, plus, aura simulation, 10 points/minute, plus, origin detailed analysis. 10-100 million points/time. Looking at the new data, Fan Ping was quite satisfied. It's not a loss this time. Although I didn't reach the 9,000 Hz I expected, 7,000 Hz and above is enough. My honing of the golden body and completing the first forging will also increase my mentality a little. When that time comes, I should be facing the 8,000 Hz barrier. The more Fan Ping thought about it, the more satisfied he was. Although the consumption was huge, this time, he could be used as a rank 9 if he spent some time. It's still better to go to the catacombs to increase my ability. If I didn't go to the catacombs, would I be able to do this? I was only rank 6 when I went to the battlefield in July. Now, I can be considered half a rank 9. When I reach the 7th forging, I can totally be considered a rank 9. It's not even been 5 months. Fan Ping felt a little emotional. How long had it been? The last time he went to the battlefield, it was really not that long. Ji Yao, a super rich kid who had 2 true kings in her family and was in charge of a big palace, had only gone from rank 6 to peak rank 7. However, after this time, if nothing unexpected happened, Ji Yao might reach rank 8. Fan Ping did not think too much about it. He began to restore his mentality to its strongest state. Restoring 1 Hertz mentality required 10 wealth points. Restoring 1 calorie vitality required 1 wealth point. Fan Ping realized that if he used up his mentality and vitality now, he would need more than 140,000 wealth points to recover. Destruction power was 35 yuan. Even if he used it up, he would still need 350,000 wealth points. The stronger I am, the harder it is. If I use up everything, I'll need 500,000 points to replenish. Without money, I'm just a normal weak rank 9. At this moment, Fan Ping had not honed to the 7th forging of a golden body, but he already saw himself as a weak rank 9. High-ranked, rank 3 in half a year, there's no one else in this world other than me. Even Old Man Li was not as fast as him. I've almost surpassed everyone I want to surpass. Next target is Old Man Li, and after that, Old Zhang. Fan Ping gritted his teeth. He had made up his mind now. When he surpassed Old Zhang, he would definitely beat him up. Huang Jing's matter could not be said to be anyone's fault. Fan Ping was responsible, MC Meiyu was responsible, Old Zhang was also responsible. However, these were not the main point. The main point was that humans were too weak. If humans were strong, they could attack the capital city catacombs and magic city catacombs at the same time. Then, none of this would have happened. Although he felt that there was no reason to vent his anger on Old Zhang, Fan Ping still felt uncomfortable. He felt betrayed. He had always felt that his relationship with Old Zhang was quite close. Among the top humans, he and Zhang Tao had known each other for the longest time and had the most contact. That day in Star Town, when he saw Zhang Tao fighting for the interests of others and working hard for the entire human race, he really admired him to the extreme. He even felt a little heartache. If it were Li Jin and the other top humans who made such a decision, even if Fan Ping was dissatisfied, he would not feel indignant. From Li Jin's perspective, he was the commander-in-chief of the military department. He was not that close to Fan Ping. This was a matter of national and military affairs. Fan Ping had no right to control how they chose. However, this time, it was Zhang Tao who made the decision. Fan Ping felt that he had been betrayed by Zhang Tao. In his opinion, since he and Zhang Tao were so close, it was only natural that Old Zhang would protect MC Meiyu. The closer they were, the more uncomfortable he felt. Fan Ping was really quite indignant. He cursed in his heart for a while. Sooner or later, he would teach him a lesson. After cursing in his heart for a while, Fan Ping vented his anger and began to hone his golden body. A large amount of imperishable matter gushed out, wrapping Fan Ping tightly. This time, the golden body needs to be at least 7 forging. It would be best if I can complete 7 forging and enter 8 forging. Fan Ping did not care about the cost. The imperishable matter gushed out endlessly. The entire cultivation room was dyed gold. Macmao. 25th of November. The weather was getting colder. More than a week had passed since the end of the Magic City battle. For more than a week, MC Meiyu was still in lockdown. No one was allowed to enter or leave. Magic City's catacombs were lost. MC Meiyu did not have a catacombs that needed to be guarded. The 3 departments and 4 houses also knew that MC Meiyu was cultivating crazily and preparing for a counterattack. At this moment, there were no military orders issued against MC Meiyu. In the huge MC Meiyu, the weather outside was getting colder, but inside MC Meiyu, it was as warm as spring. Big trees were overflowing with green. Their vitality was terrifyingly exuberant. Qin Fengqing, who had just come out of closed-door cultivation, leaned against a big tree. With a grass root in his mouth, he chuckled and said, "Ironhead, do you think these trees can become monsters? Now I understand why there are no monsters on Earth. It's because there's not enough energy. Look at MC Mayu. There's enough energy now. I feel like these trees are going to become monster plants." Li Han Song casually hammered the big tree behind him, shaking his head and saying, "I don't think so. Of course, if they keep this up, maybe after 100 years, these trees can really become monsters." Both of them were chatting. Li Han Song glanced at Qin Fengqing and chuckled. "You're improving fast." "Nonsense. I'm a genius." "Of course, I'm different." Qin Fengqing looked proud. He smiled and said, "I condensed the brain core directly. My mentality is improving fast. Fang Ping also gave me a heavenly golden lotus. I think I should be achieving upper stage rank 7 soon." The current him had just broken through to middle stage rank 7. However, he felt that upper stage was not far away. "Useless," Li Han Song said disdainfully. "Only middle stage rank 7. Weak. He was already a rank 8. Was he proud?" Qin Fengqing's expression was ugly. He humphed and said, "You're a rank 8, but you're also the weakest rank 8. A rank 8 whose mentality has just reached 3000 Hz. What's so great about that? You've reached rank 8. Without the advantage of having an iron head, let's see how long you can be arrogant." As he said that, he added, "I've reached rank 8. My mentality is stronger than yours. Maybe I can catch up to you soon and surpass you. Come on. You know how to cultivate. Why can't I?" Li Han Song was also disdainful for a while. He laughed and said, "Old Yao will probably be there soon too." "But Old Wang," Li Han Song rubbed his chin and said, "Old Wang's mutation is a mutation of his bone marrow. Now his cultivation speed has slowed down. I wonder if his bone marrow will be honed for the second time when he reaches rank 8. Will there be any benefits?" Wang Jinyang's bone marrow mutation had a huge advantage in the lower and middle ranks. However, this advantage would be weakened when he reached the higher ranks. Not only Wang Jinyang, but he too. At rank 8, the skull mutation no longer had an advantage. After thinking about it, Li Han Song shook his head and said, "I can't rely too much on the mutation to cultivate. It's good that it doesn't have an advantage. At least it will last until I reach rank 8. After that, I still have to rely on myself." Qin Fengqing's face was full of disdain. A guy with cheats had the nerve to say that he would rely on himself. Qin Fengqing could not be bothered with him. He looked at a dazzling golden cultivation room in the distance, and said curiously, "This guy has been in there for 8 days. He hasn't come out at all. Just the imperishable substance that's spilling out now is enough for us to cultivate. What is he doing? How far do you think he can cultivate this time?" When he came out of the catacombs, he had already achieved Golden Body 4. If there are no accidents this time, it should not be a problem for him to achieve 5. There's even hope for 6. After Li Han Song finished speaking, Qin Fengqing bared his teeth and said, "It can't be. Doesn't that mean he can achieve rank 9? As he said that, Qin Fengqing said helplessly, "The stronger he is, the faster he breaks through. There's no justice in this. Others get stronger and slower, but he's getting faster and faster. He advances every 2 to 3 days. I don't even know what to say." After saying a few words, Qin Fengqing suddenly grinned and said, "He's improving too fast." Moreover, when his opponent was forced to the end of the road, he would also use destruction force to fight. But no matter what, his strength control had reached 100%. His outbursts might have the combat strength of a peak rank 9. "I need to practice my strength. I want to use 100% of my strength in every move and kill a rank 9 with one punch." Fang Ping was really not in a hurry to continue honing his physique. He wanted to practice and control his own strength. He already had this capital and foundation. Unlimited indestructible matter, This was capital. Mentality could not be improved in a short time. It was also extremely difficult to continue honing his golden body. But the foundation of 60 yuan of destruction force was here. Even if his opponent also had it, so what? Would his opponent be willing to exhaust himself like him? Outland. I finally don't have to dig holes anymore. I don't have to run anymore. Magic City Catacombs, just you wait. At this time, Fang Ping no longer restrained his aura. He suddenly became ostentatious. A golden ray pierced through heaven and earth. MC Mayu's mentality shield could not seal it. From today onwards, MC Mayu has me. Fang Ping did not hide. His aura exploded, wandering around the school. MC Mayu was invincible because of him. Chapter 783. Fang Ping's aura penetrated MC Mayu's barrier. At this moment, many people in the outside world felt it, and many people were extremely shocked. Rank 9? The feeling of not having the origin path. Weak rank 9? MC Mayu has produced a weak rank 9. No, it's Fang Ping's aura, not Li Changxing. Rank 9. At this moment, everyone was shocked. Rank 9. Fang Ping broke a series of records when he reached rank 7 at the age of 20. When he reached rank 8 in the same year, everyone was speechless. Now, not even 10 years had passed. At the beginning of 10 years, Fang Ping was still a rank 5 martial artist. How did he do it? Resurrected martial artists. Resurrected martial artists are not this scary. At this moment, countless people were shocked. At the same time, Underground Hall. Zhang Tao stared in MC Mayu's direction, speechless for a long time. Rank 8 7th refinement. 7th refinement, is it that simple? Zhang Tao suddenly did not know what to say. Rank 8 7th refinement was a legend in the past. He advanced from rank 8 7th refinement, so did Li Jin, but Nan Yunwei was not. Li Jin advanced from rank 8 7th refinement because of Heavenly King Garrison's support. He gave Li Jin countless resources and helped him complete rank 8 7th refinement. Others like Nan Yunwei, like Zhao Xingwu, advanced from peak rank 8 6th refinement. Therefore, if one were to compare, the degree of golden body honing would also affect the upper limit of combat strength in the future. Even if Li Jin and Zhang Tao advanced at the same time as Nan Yunwei, they would be stronger than Nan Yunwei. Similarly, if a rank 8 6th refinement advanced to rank 9 at the beginning, they would be weaker. Such martial artists could actually enter the impasse, but their foundation was weak. Even if they entered the peak, they would still be weaker. Of course, they could make up for it later and continue to hone their golden body. However, if they did not hone it well at rank 8, it would be even more difficult at that time. The existence of the origin path was a good thing, but it was also a hindrance. The higher the upper limit of strength, the harder it was to improve. Increasing vitality by 10,000 calories at the peak was definitely more difficult than forging a rank 8 golden body. Zhang Tao said a few words, looked at Li Changxing beside him, and said lightly, "I've caught up." Old man Li had not reached rank 8 7th refinement. At this moment, he was still at the 7th level of the 8th grade. Upon hearing that, old man Li did not mind at all. He chuckled and said, "It's good that you've caught up. Rank 8 7 refinements. This kid's control over his strength was slightly higher. That would be rank 9. No, perhaps even stronger. If he used the power of destruction to fight, he would be even stronger. Ha ha ha, MC Mayu cannot be defeated." Old man Li was unusually happy. He did not guard the catacombs anymore. He stood up and said, "I'm leaving. Keep an eye on them. Don't let the catacombs martial artists rush out." Zhang Tao had tolerated him for a long time. He couldn't bear it any longer. Old man Li had just finished speaking when Zhang Tao stretched out his hand. His palm suddenly became gigantic, grabbing old man Li in one move. Without a word, he clenched his fist, causing old man Li's golden body to creak. "You have no manners! You don't care about seniority! A 60-year-old man with white hair to make you look older than me? I am almost 90 years old. Is your father as old as I am? I called you Old Manly a few times. Do you really think you're older than me? You're not as strong as me. You're younger than me. You're my son. You're not old enough. You're pretending to be me? Zhang Tao cursed. His palm was clenched tighter and tighter. Old Man Li's tongue was almost sticking out. He was about to be squeezed to death. The gap between a paragon and a rank 9 was huge. Minister, let go. I'll let go just because you want me to. Aren't you arrogant? Come, try and escape. If you manage to escape, I'll even be your son in the future. Zhang Tao cursed again. Was he addicted to bullying him? He would crush this thing to death. Creak! Old Man Li's body was almost squeezed into a meatball. Who asked you to be so arrogant? What's so great about a rank 8-7 refinements? What's so great about 10,000 Dao unification? Even if you're a paragon now, I'll still crush you to death. As he squeezed, Old Man Li's body shone with golden light. Some imperishable substances were squeezed out directly. Zhang Tao remained calm and collected. Seeing that Old Man Li did not notice, he tossed it away. Old Man Li pierced through the ground directly. No one knew where he flew to. Rank 8 7th refinement. Rank 8 7th refinement. Zhang Tao did not care about him anymore. He glanced at Wu Quishan, who was floating in front of him, and sighed. Youngsters nowadays are more and more unreliable. Rank 8 7th refinement can't become strong by relying on brute force. A real rank 8 7th refinement is the symbol of invincibility. These people haven't developed their body's potential at all. They only have the realm. Without the corresponding combat strength, rank 8 7th refinement is useless. It was useless to say that. Zhang Tao could not help but curse under his breath. Since when was 7th refinement so easy? There was no justice in this world. He's rank 8 7th refinement now. He has enough imperishable substances. I'm afraid he's ready to counterattack. However, you haven't recovered yet. He might not have the ability to do so. This kid wants to rely on MCMU to fight back. There are still 18 rank 9s in Magic City catacombs, waiting outside the passageway. Zhang Tao looked at the vortex at the passageway entrance. It was as if he could see through the other side. On the other side, the rank 9s were stationed here. 18 rank 9s. Among them, there were 7 Origin Path powerhouses and 11 weak rank 9s. Although these humans and demons did not take the Origin Path for a long time, and there were not many who took the Origin Path in the outer domain for a long time, 7 Origin Paths, no matter how weak they were, would not be that weak. If Guo Xingquan and the other 2 break through, they can take on 3 Origin Paths. Although Li Changxing has entered rank 8 7th refinement, at most, he can fight 1 against 2. He's just for show. He can't fight a protracted battle. Even if Wu Chuan comes to help, 1 against 2 should be about the same. More won't do. Someone has taken care of the 7 Origin Paths, but there are still 11 weak rank 9s. If these people join forces, they are definitely not weaker than 5 Origin Paths. Are you sure he can withstand it? Also, the catacombs did not send out rank 7 and 8 last time. However, when the war starts next, they will definitely be sent out. Dozens of rank 8s, hundreds of rank 7s. You can't withstand it. If you recover, you can deal with those rank 9s. Fang Ping can deal with those weaker than him. It's a sure kill. Zhang Tao had long seen that Fang Ping's strength did not lie in his ability to fight a rank 9. Instead, at this stage, he was almost invincible among the same rank, and it was difficult for the enemy to escape. This was Fang Ping's biggest advantage. When other rank 9 killed a rank 7, it was not easy to do so. However, Fang Ping had reached rank 8. Under the cover of the Golden House, the enemy could not even run, let alone fight. When 10 rank 7 fought with a rank 9, they could be entangled for a long time. However, when 10 rank 7 met Fang Ping, a Golden House fell down and cut these 10 people. In close combat, 1-on-1, the other party could not avoid it. 3 punches and 2 kicks could kill the other party. This was the difference between Fang Ping and the others. Materialization. Zhang Tao thought of this, then shook his head slightly. In fact, it was not impossible for him to make his materialization like Fang Ping. However, if his materialization did not have the imperishable substance to fill it, the effect would not be great. A powerhouse of the same rank could even destroy his materialization directly. Instead, it would hurt him. It was not worth it. Without unlimited imperishable substance, his materialization is just like that. However, with the imperishable substance and continuous replenishment and recovery, his materialization is very scary. After talking for a while, Zhang Tao looked at Wu Kuxian for a while and suddenly laughed. If you don't wake up, that kid will be reckless. When that time comes, there will be countless casualties. Don't blame me for not warning you. Wu Kuxian's body trembled slightly, but he still did not wake up. In truth, Zhang Tao couldn't tell what stage he was at. Once they entered rank 9, they stepped onto the origin path directly. Congratulations to the 3 vice-chancellors! Fang Ping shouted loudly. Guixinquan also turned his head to look at Fang Ping, then at Li Changxing, laughing loudly. Same to you! The 3 of us have broken through. Congratulations! Vice-Chancellor Fang and the 2 deans Li have also broken through. We're even more overjoyed! McMao. What a great MCMAU! I didn't make the wrong choice. I didn't come to the wrong place. A few powerhouses were talking loudly. At this moment, everyone else was also awake. 3 rank 9 in a day. MC Mayu had really risen. Congratulations to MC Mayu. A high-pitched roar resounded through heaven and earth. Tens of thousands of teachers and students cheered loudly with flushed faces. 3 high grandmasters. Fan Ping and Li Changxing were also powerhouses comparable to high grandmasters. 5 high grandmaster powerhouses. In addition to the vice-chancellor. At this moment, the teachers and students were agitated and excited. MCMAU is invincible! MCMAU is invincible! The earth-shattering roar resounded throughout Magic City. At this moment, the mentality barrier had been removed. In the next moment, powerhouses were shouting from all directions. Congratulations to the 4 high grandmasters! Congratulations to the grandmasters of MC Mayu! These people were also inexplicably shocked. In one day, MC Mayu was turned upside down. High grandmasters seemed to be worthless. Many of them appeared in an instant. They thought that Fang Ping had also stepped into rank 9. For a moment, even Fang Ping was involved. They were unimaginably strong. One had to know that the 3 departments and 4 residences did not actually have so many rank 9s. If they were not considered the absolute peak. Among the 3 departments, the military department had the most rank 9s. Li Daong, Tian Mu, Guixian, a deputy commander-in-chief with the surname Zhou. This was the military department's rank 9 configuration. Li Jin was not included. Now, on MC Mayu's side, there were 6 powerhouses comparable to rank 9. Moreover, excluding Fang Ping, the remaining 5 people all had origin path combat strength. This was simply unimaginable. There were also rank 8 powerhouses like Li Hansong and Lu Polu. There were even more rank 7 powerhouses. When MC Mayu's mentality barrier dissipated, these people sensed that there were a few more Grandmaster level powerhouses in MC Mayu. It was not Su Guqing, Qin Zhenhua, and the rest who were previously speculated. These few people were only one step away from Grandmaster, but they were reluctant to break through. They were waiting for Fan Ping to come out of seclusion and walk the path of unification of all paths. It was not them. There were others who had become Grandmaster level powerhouses. Su Jianzhou, Zhou Shiping. 2 MCMAU veteran rank 6 instructors. Back then, when Fan Ping first entered the university, among the instructors who recruited students, there were 2 rank 6 instructors. Fan Ping had wanted to choose Su Jianzhou as his instructor. In the end, this instructor had no time to teach at that time and let his students teach on his behalf. It was also because of this that Fan Ping gave up on choosing Su Jianzhou. However, in the past 2 years, these instructors did not stop improving. In addition to Fang Ping's large amount of resources and support, this time, these 2 instructors had finally stepped into rank 7. Su Guqing, Qin Zhenhua, Hu Mingyi, these 3 seem to be suppressing their realms. Song Yingji and the rest have actually achieved mentality-vitality fusion. At this moment, some Grand Masters who were preparing to come to congratulate did a sweep of their mentality. They simply did not know what to say. Powerhouses were as common as clouds. After the 2 great battles in MC Mayu, there were originally only slightly more than 2,000 middle-ranked martial artists left. However, in the short span of a week, MC Mayu's middle-ranked martial artists had actually reached as high as about 4,000 people. Currently, in MC Mayu, there were slightly more than 800 instructors and less than 10,000 students. With a scale of 10,000 people, almost half of the middle-ranked martial artists had reached the stage. Unbelievable! MC Mayu. In the past, martial arts universities where rank 3 martial artists could become instructors and where rank 3 martial artists were called elites. But now, in one martial arts university, there were thousands of middle-ranked powerhouses. Wu Quishan, Guixin Quan, Guan Fu, Mei Lingfeng, Li Changxing, Fang Ping, 6 powerhouses with rank 9 combat strength. Lu Polu, Li Han Song, 2 big rank 8s. Tang Feng, Lu Fengru, Qin Feng Qing, Luo Yichuan, Zhang Jianhong, Fan Hua, Liang Yuqing, Zhou Shiping, Su Jianzhou, 9 rank 7s. And many rank 6 powerhouses. At this moment, everyone was moved. This kind of combat strength was probably not weaker than the Wuan army. No, it should be stronger. Although it was not as many as the Wuan army's high-ranked martial artists, the key was that there were more rank 9s. Bei Gongbing was the only rank 9 in the Wuan army. If Xiang Tao did not make a move, the army directly under the Education Ministry would not be a match for MC Mayu. Everyone in the outside world was moved, but Fang Ping smiled and said, Dean Chun, do you really want to take the path of unification of all paths? There were still flaws in this path. And it's extremely dangerous. Even if there are flaws, there are no regrets. Qin Zhenhua was extremely excited at this moment. Although he was old, his tone was sonorous as he said loudly, MC Mayu does not lack rank 7 Grandmasters or rank 9 Grandmasters, but rank 8s are not enough. We are old, we don't want to wait anymore, we can't wait anymore. Since there are these few, we are willing to give it a try. At this moment, the Grandmasters who had just arrived from the outside world fell silent. MC Mayu wanted to take the path of unification of all paths on a large scale. Qin Zhenhua and the others were being overtaken, not because they could not break through, but because they were unwilling. They wanted to take the path of unification of all paths. At this time, Old Manly also put away his smile, saying in a low voice, I took the path of unification of all paths, that was a coincidence. If you want to hone a real golden body, it's difficult. Too difficult. The imperishable substance's effect on you is average, only destruction and reconstruction, shattering bones and flesh, reforging flesh, achieving a golden body. This path is not so easy to take. When I was still a student, the few of you were already MC Mayu instructors, MC Mayu's few old people. Now that there is hope for rank 7, you don't need to take the path of unification of all paths. With us here, it's enough. Su Guqing scolded loudly. You can go, but we can't? Li Changxing, you want to hold on to the path of unification of all paths, don't you? Back then, I knew you were narrow-minded, not a good person. You can't bear to part with the life essence, thinking that Fang Ping must give it to you, right? Old Manly rolled his eyes. The old man wanted to provoke him. Was it necessary? I'm doing this for your own good. What if I die? It was not easy to live to Su Guqing's age. There was almost no one older than him in MC Mayu. Lu Polo was slightly older, but not much. In MC Mayu, it was really not easy to live to Su Guqing and Lu Polo's age. Now, instead of taking the normal path of Grandmaster, he insisted on the path of unification of all paths. Old Manly was still thinking. In the blink of an eye, Zhang Tao also appeared here. Glancing at Guixinquan and the rest, Zhang Tao nodded slightly, then looked at Fang Ping, saying in a low voice, "Don't be reckless. Unification of all paths, combat strength may be strong, but you know the trouble. The consumption is huge, there was the loss of vitality before. Even if it can be solved now, it will consume a lot of resources. Moreover, the flaw is also very obvious, lacking some necessary attack methods. Li Chongqing is powerful because he has Li Jin's void-piercing swordsmanship, but Li Jin will not impart his ultimate art everywhere. It's the same for me. What I have may not be suitable for you. Maybe they will soon have rank 8 combat strength, but they will only be weak rank 8. If they want to improve further, it will be extremely difficult." Fang Ping chuckled. "It's okay, MC Mayu does not lack resources." Although he said that, Fang Ping did not really take it seriously. He looked at Chen Zhenhua and the rest, saying, "Instructors, I understand what you are thinking. Unification of all paths is actually a gamble, you..." Su Guqing shouted. "How can you achieve great things if you are so wishy-washy? Wu Quishan's injuries are not light. Now you are the head of MC Mayu. How can the head be so irresolute? We are willing to go. If you are willing to use your life essence, then give us a helping hand." Afraid of death? Who is afraid of death? There are no martial artists in MC Mayu who are afraid of death. If they are really afraid of death, the old man would not have thought about recovering when he was injured. It would have been better to continue living in peace. Since you have recovered, then you want to improve, not be a burden. Fang Ping took a deep breath. Beside him, Zhang Tao added, "They are not rank 7, their mentality is not strong enough. If anything happens, no matter how much imperishable substance you have, you will not be able to save them. If it was really a rank 8 powerhouse, or even a rank 7 martial artist, then their vitality was extremely strong. Especially at rank 8, even if they became like old Manly in the past, with the imperishable substance, the probability of survival was 99%, they would almost not die. However, a few rank 6 martial artists had become like that. If they were not careful, they would die without a doubt." Fan Ping regretted mentioning this before, causing the elders to take it seriously. However, at this point, Fan Ping suddenly gritted his teeth and said, "Since the instructors are willing to take the risk, Fan Ping will not stop you. MC Mayu wants to be strong. If we can't do it step by step, then we will give it a try. If the instructors do not make it through today, Fan Ping will kill a few more catacombs beasts as a sacrifice to the instructors. Kid, don't curse us." Su Guqing laughed. "We were also prodigies of our generation back then. Li Chongqing is of the same generation as us, he may not be as good as us. If he can do it, will we fail? Don't worry, come on." The few of them looked calm, some did not know what was happening, and for a moment did not know what to say. Seeing this, Zhang Tao sighed. "Fine, since you want to walk the path of unification, then let's take the risk. Fan Ping, give me the life essence." Fan Ping did not hesitate this time. Zhang Tao was much stronger than him, more tricks than him, it was better to listen to him. Without another word, Fan Ping went straight to the logistics department. Soon in his hands a huge box flew over. At this moment, the Grand Masters outside were dumbfounded. What was in that big box? Zhang Tao did not say much, but he still said, "There's no need for so much, use it all." Fan Ping was more straightforward than him, saying quickly, "Use it all on the 3 instructors, if you run out of life essence, you can earn it again." Zhang Tao cursed in his heart, did not waste any more words, looked at the 3 of them, and said, "Who's first?" "Me," the 3 of them said in unison. Zhang Tao looked at Su Guqing and said, "Dean Su, the oldest, use him as an example. If you can't do it, Dean Chen and Dean Hu should give up." Su Guqing laughed, Zhang Tao waited for him to finish laughing, and smacked his palm. Bang! Su Guqing exploded directly. Fan Ping's gaze changed, could not help but say, "Skull." Skull also exploded. This, "Don't talk nonsense, you guys insisted on trying." Zhang Tao's expression was also very solemn. Unification of 10,000 paths. In fact, the government was also trying to mass produce. In the end, almost all the experimenters died. This had something to do with the lack of life essence. Previously, they had actually tried using life essence and imperishable substances, but perhaps the amount was too little, so they had always failed. In this aspect, Zhang Tao was much more experienced than Fang Ping. However, back then, 10,000 paths unification had been constantly losing vitality. They had only experimented with this to mass-produce some martial artists who committed suicide once, not to create high-end combat strength like now. After smashing Suguqing, Zhang Tao extracted some life essence from the big box, wrapped it around Suguqing, and the minced flesh began to wriggle. Seeing this, Fang Ping said hurriedly, "Too little. Not enough, at least 500 caddies." 500 caddies, you? Zhang Tao really wanted to slap him to death too. Did your family own a life essence warehouse? 500 caddies. If they really wanted to use 500 caddies of life essence, did they need to spend so much just to create a weak rank 8? Zhang Tao was about to say that he had a plan, but Fang Ping did not communicate with him at all. His mentality guided hundreds of caddies of life essence to wrap Suguqing's minced flesh. After thinking for a while, Fang Ping produced a large mass of imperishable substances in his hand. Zhang Tao could not hold it in anymore. He shouted, "Enough! Resources should not be wasted. Whether he lives or dies depends on his luck. Didn't people say that the more things you have, the safer you will be? Who are you wasting resources for? For me, or for the martial artists here? To show that you, Fang Ping, are rich and overbearing? Childish. You're not my grandson otherwise." Before he could finish, Fang Ping interrupted. "I'm not showing it to anyone, and I'm not showing off. I only understand one thing: human life is more important. If things are lost, they can be snatched again, but if people die, they have nothing." Zhang Tao glanced at him, ignored him, and continued to control the life essence, letting the mass absorb it. At this time, Old Man Li mumbled, "Did I look like this back then? So ugly." Fang Ping was speechless. "You're actually thinking about this at this time. If you knew that I almost sent you to the catacombs market, would you be in more pain?" As they were talking, the mass of flesh began to wriggle violently. The next moment, the mass of flesh began to reconstruct its flesh. Seeing this, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Fang Ping let out a long sigh of relief too. It worked. At this point, it was almost the same as when Old Man Li first recovered. While controlling the life essence, Zhang Tao said, "If you survived that palm of mine and didn't die, you shouldn't be in too much danger. That's the most dangerous moment. If your skull is crushed and your willpower isn't strong enough, you'll definitely die. If your willpower is strong enough, you'll be able to maintain a trace of clarity and sanity. If you know how to use the life essence to reconstruct your flesh, then you've passed the biggest obstacle." These words were also for Cheng Zhenhua and Old Man Li to hear. If your martial willpower was not strong enough, and your desire to live was not strong enough, then it was better not to try. The moment your skull was crushed, you would definitely die. Both of them did not say anything, staring at the mass of flesh. At this time, the mass of flesh had already taken shape. Suguqing's voice rang out, shouting, "Heavenly Golden Lotus!" Fang Ping hurriedly threw out a heavenly golden lotus. Before he could throw it, Zhang Tao's mentality moved, tearing off a petal and tossing it to Suguqing. Then, he glared at Fang Ping fiercely. If this kid wasted any more, he had decided to rob him on the spot today. Fang Ping did not say anything. Suguqing took the heavenly golden lotus and swallowed it. His mentality was strong, and he was only one step away from materialization. At this moment, after swallowing the heavenly golden lotus, in the blink of an eye, the void trembled slightly, showing signs of materialization. There was a rumble. A loud noise was heard, and a celestial bridge appeared. The Sanjiao gate landed on the celestial bridge instantly. Immediately after, a broadsword appeared. That was Suguqing's materialization. Without hesitation, Suguqing leaped into the air. His entire body emitted golden light, charging straight at the broadsword, swallowing it into his stomach. Roar! A painful roar was heard. Then, Suguching looked at the Celestial Bridge and the Sanjiao Gate. He opened his mouth, and the Sanjiao Gate and the Celestial Bridge shrunk countless times, flying into his mouth. Rumble! Suguching's golden body trembled, as if he was enduring immense pain. Fan Ping could not help but glance at Old Manly. Old Manly said mildly, "Why are you looking at me? Old Man Su is afraid of pain. He can't even endure this little pain. How can he compare to me?" Fan Ping was speechless. Old Manly was not like this back then. Fan Ping still remembered when he first broke through. It was extremely easy. However, Old Manly was a ruthless person. He used to tear himself into pieces for fun when he had nothing to do. Fan Ping felt that he might not feel pain. While he was thinking, Suguching's body shone with golden light, his vitality soaring. Ha ha ha, I've succeeded. 10,000 Dao unification is so easy! Suguching laughed out loud. 300 caddies of life essence, 1 petal of the heavenly golden lotus. So easy! Zhang Tao shook his head. Did the people in MCMU not learn mathematics before? The market price was close to 1 trillion just to create 10,000 Dao unification. It might not be worth it. Zhang Tao initially thought that perhaps he could mass-produce it. Looking at the consumption now, forget it. He could not afford it. Spending close to 1 trillion in resources to create a weak rank 8. Later, in order to prevent his vitality from dissipating, he could not afford it. He glanced at Fang Ping from the corner of his eyes. If you can afford it, then continue. Let's see how long you can last with that little bit of stuff in your hands. I'll wait until you run out of money. When you run out of money, you're going to forge 100 kings, aren't you? I'll see how you're going to forge it without an absolute peak. Wu Quishan might not be able to set foot on the absolute peak. Even if he could, how many could a guy who had just entered the absolute peak be able to forge? Moreover, the risk of exposure was high. Would it be as safe as the fake money I forged? You'd still have to beg me. Continue spending? Spend all the energy stones, life essence, heavenly golden lotus, and everything else. Let's see where you're going to get more money. Zhang Tao had already calculated. With this kid's way of spending, even though it was a few trillion, it would be gone in no time. Once the money was gone, MC Mayu had so many people to feed and so many gold-swallowing beasts. If he did not go to the restricted area to forge fake money, what else could he do? Settle accounts with me. Fine, I'll charge you half the commission. I'll charge you 50 caddies of energy stones for 100 kings. Zhang Tao was thinking. Fang Ping had not considered this yet. At this moment, he was still rejoicing. Man-made 10,000 Dao unification. No, Old Manly was actually man-made too. He actually succeeded. He did not know whether it was because these people's willpower was strong, or 10,000 Dao unification was really easy to achieve. In short, it was a success. If that's the case, the catacombs can actually mass-produce. The catacombs should know about 10,000 Dao unification, right? Why isn't it mass-produced? Fan Ping suddenly had some thoughts. But he did not know that martial willpower, the will to live, and the will to live were not so strong for everyone. These older martial artists had fought their whole lives. They were not willing to die like this. Their willpower was terrifyingly strong. Even if they were to die, they were not willing to die in such a cowardly manner. This was the main reason why they survived. The catacombs martial artists might not lack these, but one lived a carefree life, while the other fought for survival in the face of death. Their mentality was different. Moreover, those true kings were rarely willing to waste large amounts of life essence to do this. Fang Ping did not think about these. At this moment, there was only joy. MC Mayu would become stronger and stronger. It definitely would. P.S. Happy New Year, everyone. The basic update that I'm missing will have to be delayed until after the New Year. I'm going out to have fun. Chapter 784. November 25th. On this day, MC Mayu shocked the world. Guixingquan and the other two had successfully advanced to become rank 9 Origin Realm powerhouses. On this day, Su Guiqing, Chen Zhenhua, and Hu Mingyi stepped into the myriad Dao unification state at the same time. Although they had just broken through and were slightly inferior to rank 8, they still possessed the combat capability of rank 8. On the same day, Fang Ping advanced to the 7th level of the Golden Body, comparable to a weak rank 9 powerhouse. In a single day, the world was turned upside down. On the 17th of November, MC Mayu lost the Magic City Catacombs. Huang Jing died in battle while Wu Quishan and Lu Fengru were unconscious. Everyone thought that MC Mayu would usher in a low point this time. However, just like in the past, when the old Vice-Chancellor died in battle, everyone thought that MC Mayu would fall into a trough. However, Wu Quishan quickly took over MC Mayu and did not plunge MC Mayu into chaos. Similarly, after Wu Quishan fell into a coma, Fang Ping swiftly took over MC Mayu, allowing MC Mayu to rise from the bottom in the blink of an eye. This was the order of inheritance. Generation after generation of MC Mayu people had held up the sky of MC Mayu. For more than 60 years, MC Mayu had never declined, no matter how much trouble it faced. MC Mayu, Reception Hall. Fang Ping sat in the main seat, while Long Tao sat in the guest seat. The hall was filled with experts, all of whom were martial demon sex grandmasters. No one had any objections to Fang Ping sitting in the main seat. Now that Wu Quishan was not around, Fang Ping had appointed himself as the executive vice-chancellor and had begun to officially lead MC Mayu. Fang Ping looked around, his heart filled with joy. He picked up the teacup on the table, stood up and said with a smile, "I'll use tea in place of wine to congratulate all of you for your successful advancement." Everyone raised their glasses and laughed heartily. It was worth congratulating. After downing the first cup, Fang Ping raised his cup and looked at Zhang Tao, saying slowly, "Here's to humanity! Congratulations to China! Victory in the capital, joy for China!" Zhang Tao slowly raised his cup and drained it without saying a word. Fang Ping took a sip, his smile vanishing. He said, "I shouldn't spoil the mood on such a joyous day." However, Fang Ping still had to say that the counterattack should be put on the agenda. Sino Nation had only lost Tian and Catacombs once since the Great War between the two worlds. Magic City Catacombs was the second time. Tian and Catacombs' counterattack had taken 2 years. We can't wait 2 years for the Catacombs' counterattack. Our teachers and students need to gain experience, and we need some resources. It's impossible for us to guard against the powerhouses from Magic City's catacombs every day and night. The slightest bit of carelessness and the absence of the absolute peak might cause a great disaster. We're definitely not a match for the true king. Zhang Tao smiled faintly. The catacombs' true king. Recently, the catacombs' true king might not have time to care about the outer realm. Before you left, you caused a huge commotion in the king's battlefield. The Life Kings and the others have all rushed to the king's battlefield. The 2 catacombs kings might be coming back to life. Compared to the war in the outer realms, these people were more concerned about the situation in the king battlefield. As long as it wasn't a large-scale attack, these true kings wouldn't care. Of course, a rank 9 could not be given up so easily. Once the battle reached its climax and the other party suffered too many losses, the true king would not really leave them alone. When that time comes, we'll have something to say. Zhang Tao paused for a moment before continuing. Also, we need to discuss the timing of the counterattack. According to the information you brought back last time, Shijiang and the West Mountain catacombs might experience unrest in the near future. Once chaos broke out, Sino Nation would not be able to wage war on all 3 catacombs at the same time. Nowadays, wars are no longer limited to a single city. They happen frequently. Once a war breaks out, it will be a war of the entire cave. Zhang Tao said slowly. Xishan Catacombs isn't that big. There are only 8 cities and 16 rank 9 martial artists. On the other hand, the Shijiang catacombs were not small. There were a total of 11 cities and 222 rank 9s. If a war breaks out, then we have to consider the other party's participation in the war. At this time, we can no longer think about the Destiny bloodline not participating in the war. No matter how much discord there is between the two majestic courts, they have now entered into cooperation. Some of the wars in the Outer Realms have probably reached the ears of other Outer Realms powerhouses. Tian'an catacombs suffered heavy losses. The Purple Forbidden catacombs were destroyed directly. Capital City catacombs suffered heavy losses. Magic City catacombs suffered heavy losses too. No matter how stupid these Outer Realms city lords are, they won't sit and watch others die at this time. It's possible that they don't put in much effort. However, as long as the war goes smoothly, these catacombs powerhouses are still very strong when it comes to winning battles. 38 rank 9 martial artists may start a war at the same time. This doesn't even take into account the Forbidden Land demons. Zhang Tao continued. Including the 18 from Magic City, that's 56 rank 9 martial artists. And the outbreak of a war may happen at the same time. This possibility is very high. If a war breaks out here, the catacombs will feel the pressure. Reinforcements may not arrive quickly, but in order to weaken Sino nation's strength. At this time, their true king powerhouses will also join forces and launch attacks from multiple catacombs at the same time. Not just Magic City, but some of the provinces nearby as well. When that time comes, hundreds of millions of people will die. MCMA, you can't bear this responsibility, either can Fang Ping. Therefore, even if there are some sacrifices, this war must be fought. After Fang Ping finished speaking, he looked at old Zhang for a while. Losing the Magic City catacombs is like planting a bomb in Sino Nation, a bomb that can explode at any time. You understand this better than I do. Zhang Tao glanced at him, saying lightly, I didn't expect to lose the Magic City catacombs either. Don't look at me like that. I don't want the Magic City catacombs to be lost either. At that time, I thought that I could go to Mount Royal Sea alone. Legion stayed behind, so the Magic City catacombs would not be lost. Kid, don't try to deny yourself. You created more than 10 true kings in the king battleground. This is the main reason why Legion went to the catacombs. At that time, it was already too late to change the plan. The Battle of Capital City had already broken out. In the whole of Sino Nation, only Zhang Weiyu could fight. However, the Magic City catacombs is full of danger. It is already showing signs of defeat. There is no reason to let Zhang Weiyu risk his life in the catacombs. Provoking 3 to 5 true kings is still within my calculations. Provoking more than 10 true kings was not part of my plan. Zhang Tao had had enough of this guy. He said impatiently. More than 10 true kings. Even Heavenly King Garrison could not provoke them. You are more capable of provoking true kings than Heavenly King Garrison. Seeing that Fang Ping was about to speak, Zhang Tao waved his hand and said, You provoke so many true kings not only because of you, but also because the king battleground is special. 2 true kings may be hiding there, so there are always true kings watching over there. In short, this matter is over. No one will think about it. Stop thinking about it. Fang Ping took a deep breath and said, I don't think about this. I'm going to talk business with the minister now. The Magic City catacombs must be taken back. Otherwise, the minister will enter the passageway and mess it up. However, there are many passageways open now. Even if the passageways are messed up, it is only a temporary measure. It will be restored soon. As long as the Magic City catacombs are not taken down, the entire Magic City's cultivation environment will deteriorate. If Magic City martial artists want to improve, they can only go to other places. Then, Magic City will be considered deserted. There are many martial artists and martial arts universities in Magic City. More than 100,000 martial arts university students, as well as many casual martial artists and government martial artists have gathered here. Hundreds of thousands of martial artists gathered in Magic City. Without the catacombs, many plans will be completely messed up. When Tiannan's catacombs were breached, the minister is clear about the situation there. Tiannan martial artists rushed to different places. Because they were not familiar with other catacombs, they suffered heavy losses. Many people went to other catacombs for the first time, so the death rate was high. I don't want Magic City to be like this. If hundreds of thousands of martial artists in Magic City really rushed to different places, there might be chaos. Zhang Tao tapped the table lightly, deep in thought. At this time, there was indeed a dilemma. If the Magic City catacombs were not taken down, it would be a threat. However, if they counterattacked the Magic City catacombs, wars would break out in other places quickly. This might not happen in the past, but now, the probability was high. Time, speed, Zhang Tao said slowly. You must be fast. If you want to take down Magic City catacombs, you can't be too slow. You must be fast, so fast that even if the true king gives the order, the catacombs everywhere will not be ready for a full-scale war. In an hour, settle the Magic City war. After that, your people will go out of the catacombs to help the other places and quell the war. An hour. Fang Ping frowned. Fang Ping frowned. Zhang Tao said slowly. 1 hour! At this time, the other catacombs and some city lords deep in the city might still be rushing to the front line. The war might not break out. If you can go back to help the other places and give them strong support, the catacombs martial artists are not stupid. They will not continue fighting even if they know it is a suicide mission. This is also the plan with the least losses. However, if you drag it out, a full-scale war will break out in other places. Fang Ping, you must understand that humans now are no match for these people. Below, Old Manly opened his mouth and said, It's not easy to defeat the other party in an hour. Why don't we gather the Sino Nation rank 9s and attack together? First, we will defeat the Magic City catacombs powerhouses, then quickly go back to help the other places. Compared to the catacombs, our only advantage is that we can quickly deploy troops through the ground. The catacombs are too big, and they still have to transit through Mount Royal Sea. They don't have this advantage. Zhang Tao said softly. It's not that simple. Some rules still exist. The catacombs' true king is not willing to have a full-scale war with us at this time, but it will not let us slaughter the other party at this time either. In other words, we are actually still limited. If we really want to transfer rank 9s, it is not difficult for Sino Nation to transfer 20 rank 9s, excluding the powerhouses who must stay behind to keep watch. Together with the people from MC Mayu, defeating the Magic City catacombs will not be a problem. However, once we do this, very soon, we will face the counterattack of the entire outer territory, including the restricted area rank 9s. Zhang Tao said a few words, then said, Right now, the restricted area does not care about the outer territory. That is because the war is coming. In fact, the restricted area also has the idea of exhausting the strength of the outer territory and ourselves. However, if we have an absolute advantage, at this time, the situation will be different. Fang Ping continued. That is why, we can only do as the minister said, defeat the other party within an hour and return to support the other parties. In addition, we cannot have too many rank 9s. Since the catacombs have 18, we can only deploy 18 rank 9s at most, right? Zhang Tao said lightly. They will not give you this opportunity. Once the humans deploy 10 powerhouses above rank 9, it will mean a big battle. Therefore, the number of people must be as small as possible. So small that the other party's true king thinks that they have a chance of winning. As Zhang Tao said that, he laughed and said, Do you think that the catacombs' true king is really an idiot? They don't know that Li Changxing is very strong and can be seen as an originality martial artist? They don't know that Wu Chuan can fight 1 against 2 and is comparable to 2 originality martial artists? They know. Therefore, if you have the idea of letting Wu Chuan, Zhang Weiyu, and the others enter and kill the other party, then it is best to have a few fewer people. The catacombs know quite a lot about our situation. They know what kind of strength these rank 9s have. Therefore, we can't let the other party think that they will lose at first glance. We must immediately unite the thoughts of all parties. The catacombs' true kings are the kind of people who care about their reputation. If they feel that they can win, then they will not let other true kings cooperate for a while. That will only cause them to lose face. Zhang Tao was very clear about these true kings' thoughts. He laughed and said, "Try to limit the number of rank 9s to less than 10. Moreover, they must not be the absolute powerhouses. It is best if Zhang Weiyu and the others do not appear here." When Green Wolf King and Bamboo Kings see that the chances of winning are very high, they may not even send their direct rank 9s to help at this time. They will not immediately call for all parties to attack the moment you enter. What we are fighting for is the time difference. If you defeat the other party quickly, Magic City Catacombs will no longer be able to fight. If you return to help all parties, the battle will not break out so easily. After saying that, Zhang Tao added, "Also, don't just look at the rank 9s. There are about 30 rank 8 martial artists in Magic City's 12 cities and about 100 rank 7 martial artists. These people are nothing if they are alone. If they join forces, they are also extremely powerful." Fan Ping fell into deep thought and did not speak for a while. But once there is a first time, no one will gamble with you a second time. The key is that now we can't recreate the situation back then and invite a battle in advance. If we do that, then everything will be exposed, and we will not be able to fight because of the time difference. Without reaching an agreement with the catacombs' true king in advance, seizing their mineral vein will not work. They would rather destroy it than give it to the humans. Some small mines are not included. If we can conquer some affiliated cities and towns, we can still take some small mineral veins. This has been our main source of resources for the past few years. Fang Ping frowned. If that was the case, seizing the mineral vein would not work. Even if they conquered the Magic City Catacombs this time, the harvest would be limited. After thinking for a while, Fang Ping suddenly said, "Maybe we can try again. Minister, I want to go to the Magic City bounded zone first. The Jiao is not dead yet. The last time it almost died in the hands of King Huai, it must be unwilling. If I go contact the Jiao, maybe I can contact a group of demons. We don't need them to participate in the battle. When we fight, let these demons break the city from behind. The demons in the Forbidden Land may not dare to do it, but what about the demons in the bounded zone?" Fang Ping's eyes flickered. "There are many demons in the bounded zone too. If the war starts, the demons in the bounded zone will leave the bounded zone to attack the major cities and seize the mineral veins. The true king may not dare to massacre the demons in large numbers, right?" Everyone was a little dazed. "You still want to contact the Jiao? The last time you tricked it, it almost lost its life. Now it's hard to say if it's still alive or not." King Huai punched through the air and destroyed the other's golden body. "Is it really still alive? Even if it is, will it have the guts to continue working with you? Besides, the Jiao is only a rank 8 demon. A rank 8 demon may not be able to change anything. Although there are demons in the bounded zone, under normal circumstances, they will not leave the bounded zone. Fang Ping is not a demon king. How can he negotiate with these demons? The Jiao. If Fang Ping had not mentioned it, Zhang Tao would have almost forgotten about this demon. Hearing Fang Ping say that he wanted to enter the bounded zone and find this demon to work with, Zhang Tao laughed. "You won't stop until you kill it?" Fang Ping shook his head. "It's just a cooperation. The Jiao is not stupid. It will only do things that benefit it. We kill people and it goes to seize the mineral veins. This time, it will be really easy to seize the mineral veins. If we really seize the 12 mineral veins, then there will be a reason for it." Fang Ping licked his lips and laughed. "After the Jiao seizes the mineral veins, it will probably return to the bounded zone. But can it defend it? It doesn't have a storage ring. No matter how much it devours, how much can it devour? When the time comes, I will go to the bounded zone and directly take those mineral veins, then the mineral veins will be ours again." Everyone looked at him. What a black-hearted person! Last time, he almost tricked that demon to death. This time, he actually wanted to do it again. As for how Fang Ping would enter the bounded zone, if he did not go through the passageway, then he could only go through Mount Imperial Sea. Perhaps he could even cooperate with them from the inside. Also, the war has not started yet, and you have already taken care of the mineral veins. You are very confident. Zhang Tao thought for a while and said, "We'll see. MC Mayu has not confirmed it yet. Also, this matter needs to be discussed with many parties. I will give you an answer in a few days." "Okay." Fang Ping responded and did not say anything else. This matter was indeed not something that could be decided in a flash. If he were to count on MC Mayu to conquer the Magic City catacombs alone, it might not be feasible. Maybe they still needed a batch of reinforcements. Old Wang's NMAU, Old Yao's FMS, these two fellows are the school's helmsmen. Maybe this time it's time to move. Chapter 785. After writing half a chapter, Old Eagle was dozing off. When he took a look, "What the heck?" Old Eagle deleted it. In February, when he said that he wanted to compete for the monthly votes, Old Eagle had originally planned to update 3 chapters a day and update from time to time to take first place. However, he didn't know if it was the influence of the new year or if he wasn't in the right state of mind, but he hadn't been writing with any passion recently. In fact, the plot had deviated a little. After coming out of the Forbidden Zone, he had originally planned to happily act as 13, but he ended up writing too smoothly. He didn't manage to write this climax and instead caused Old Eagle to fall into a bottleneck. "Give me some time to adjust. It just so happens that there's been a lot of things going on at home recently. People come and go, and Old Eagle's train of thought is interrupted every time. It's not suitable for him to hide in his room and not go out. If he goes out, he'll lose track of what to write, and the more he writes, the more headaches he'll have. So, there's only 1 chapter today. He still has to visit his relatives tomorrow and the day after, so there might be fewer updates. However, Old Eagle said that he would update 3 chapters a day. He wouldn't go back on his word. No matter how much he owed, he would definitely make up for it when the new year is over and he's not busy. He still owes me a chapter on the basics, so I'll remember it. As for the reward I owe, just treat it as if I've temporarily forgotten about it. This is another matter, and I don't dare to think about it. My deepest apologies. Plans can't keep up with changes. For the sake of the plot not collapsing, my brothers, please forgive me. Also, one more thing, Gao Wu has written 4 million words. Just treat it as me, Old Eagle, writing 4 million words and letting myself fly for 2 days. Take a break. 9 Heaven's Divine Emperor. Chapter 786. In the living room, everyone discussed for a while. Zhang Tao did not stay long. Before he left, he said to Fang Ping, "If you want to enter the Magic City catacombs, it'll be difficult. The true king of the Magic City catacombs is watching. If you want to enter through the entrance and impersonate someone else, it'll be difficult." Fang Ping smiled. "I've observed it. It's fine even if I don't go through the entrance. As long as Absolute Peak is willing to send me through Mount Royal Sea, it'll be fine too." The difference between the inside and outside of the catacombs depended on Mount Royal Sea. As long as Absolute Peak brought him along to protect Fang Ping from being cut by the space rift when he passed through Mount Royal Sea, no one would know even if he concealed his aura. Upon hearing this, Zhang Tao glanced at him. Is this brat planning to scheme against the Battle Kings? He did not even mention asking him to send him this time. Zhang Tao did not say anything else. He smiled and left. Even though Fang Ping had reached rank 8 7th refinement, he still did not notice. After he left, Fang Ping looked at everyone and said slowly, "Instructors, get ready. Those who need to consolidate their realm, those who need to go into closed-door cultivation, go into closed-door cultivation. The counterattack is imperative." After a brief discussion, everyone left. Although many people had broken through this time, no one mentioned anything about the Grandmaster banquet. Huang Jinggang had fallen, and no one was in the mood. After everyone left, Old Manly stayed behind. He glanced at Fan Ping and said, "There are too many people. Now that the counterattack time has been confirmed, aren't you afraid of accidents?" Fan Ping smiled. "The time is uncertain. I'm just giving a rough time. It might be earlier or later. We'll see how it goes." Fan Ping was about to say a few more words when Qinyunxi hurried over. Seeing Qinyunxi, Fan Ping immediately realized something. As expected, Qinyunxi saw Fan Ping and said hurriedly, "Instructor is awake." Finally, Fan Ping breathed a sigh of relief. Lu Fengru had been in a coma since she came back. She was finally awake. Without saying anything else, Fan Ping and Old Manly hurried toward the cultivation room. In the cultivation room, Lu Fengru's face was slightly pale. Seeing Fan Ping and the others rushing over, she looked around. She did not see Wu Quishan. Old Manly glanced at her, probably knowing what she was thinking. He laughed and said, "Old Wu is not dead. The two of you have been divorced for more than 10 years. Does this count as a divorce now? Not dead?" Lu Fengru breathed a sigh of relief. She looked at Fan Ping and smiled. "You saved us?" When Fan Ping arrived, she was already on the verge of death. She had no idea what was going on. Fan Ping did not reply. Old Manly laughed and said, "It's lucky that this kid came in time. If he came any later, we'd all be dead. How are the others? Where's Wu Quishan?" "Old Wu is in seclusion." Old Manly paused for a moment, then smiled. This time, Old Wu might really have profited from his misfortune and entered a desperate situation. "Fengru, you've really picked up a great bargain. Look at the student you've taken in. Your ex-husband relied on him to reach rank 9. Now, even the pinnacle has to rely on him." Lu Fengru rolled her eyes. She was in a much better mood, but she quickly remembered that Old Manly did not answer her earlier question. Thinking of this, Lu Fengru's expression changed slightly. She asked in a low voice, "Where are the others?" Seeing that everyone was silent, Lu Fengru forced a smile again. "Why? Am I, Lu Fengru, that weak in your eyes? Who died?" "Old Huang." Lu Fengru fell silent. After a long time, she sighed softly. "I've always thought that Huang Jing's character is steady." Quishan also said before that back then, between Huang Jing and Quishan, the Vice-Chancellor was actually biased towards Huang Jing. He wanted Huang Jing to continue leading MC Meiyu. However, at that time, Huang Jing's ability was on the weaker side. In the end, the old man chose Quishan. Before the Battle of Sky Gate, Quishan said that if he died, Fan Ping was still young. He would entrust the school's affairs to Huang Jing. Lu Fengru could not continue. She fell silent for a moment. Seeing this, Fan Ping smiled and said, "Instructor, you've just recovered from your injury. You should rest more. I'll take care of these things. Your student is now the official acting Vice-Chancellor. You should be happy. Think about it. Your husband is the Vice-Chancellor. Your student is also the Vice-Chancellor. Your student's student might also become the Vice-Chancellor in the future. That's something to be happy about. Also," Fan Ping deliberately dragged out his words, chuckling. "Instructor, you've just recovered. I'm afraid you still don't know that I've broken through to rank 8 7th level. I have rank 9 combat strength. Also, Instructor Gue and the others have broken through to rank 9. Instructor Li has also broken through to rank 8 7th level. The Vice-Chancellor has a chance to pinnacle. Also," Fan Ping briefly told her about the recent events. Lu Fengru seemed to have forgotten the sadness from earlier. Hearing this, she smiled and said, "If that's the case, the number of Grandmaster powerhouses in MC Meiyu is almost uncountable?" After saying that, she said with some dissatisfaction, "Fan Ping, don't forget that I'm your instructor. You, on the other hand, gave some good things to outsiders. Look at Li Changxing, that old thing. What rank is he now? I'm only middle stage rank 7 now. Haven't you considered helping me increase my rank?" Hearing this, Fan Ping smiled immediately. "I've left some good things for you this time. When your injury has completely recovered, I've also saved some heavenly golden lotus and golden body fruit. Instructor can almost enter rank 8. Instructor, you have to work hard. Otherwise, when the Vice-Chancellor reaches pinnacle, you'll only be rank 7. How embarrassing. So what if he enters pinnacle? Lu Fengre looked indifferent. Old Manly suddenly laughed. Then you'll be the pinnacle's wife. The only pinnacle's wife who's still alive. Isn't that enough? Everyone burst out laughing. Speaking of which, nowadays, almost all the spouses in Impasse were dead. Whether those pinnacle in Star Town were men or women, Fang Ping and the rest actually did not know. However, almost all of them were single. That was for sure. After chatting for a while, Lu Fengre had just recovered. Everyone did not stay for long and quickly dispersed. Lu Fengre also began to recover from her injuries. When she was in a coma, her injuries had not fully healed. Coming out of the cultivation room, Fang Ping breathed a sigh of relief. Instructor is awake. Now, only the Vice-Chancellor is left. When the Vice-Chancellor is awake, it'll be much better. Having said that, Fang Ping looked at Qinyunqi, who was beside him, and said, Take a look at the current rank 6 martial artists in the university. Tell them that I've obtained many opportunities left behind by the seniors in the land of martial kings this time. I've obtained a lot of vitality and mentality. Try your best to help them complete the rank 6 Sanjiao Gate seal. All right. Qinyunqi responded. She did not ask in detail, nor did she say anything more. Passive vitality and mentality existed. Fang Ping had obtained them once before, and they had helped many instructors complete their cultivation from the lower ranks to the middle ranks. However, this time it was targeted at rank 6. Fang Ping meant to inform all rank 6 martial artists. This was not a matter of a little gain. There were many rank 6 martial artists in the school. Qinyunqi did not ask. Very soon, she went to busy herself. She had more things to do recently. She did not ask, but Old Manly transmitted his voice. Is this appropriate? It's fine if it's an individual's advancement. There are many rank SIXS in the school. Based on this situation, if you're going to elevate everyone to peak rank 6, you'll need to obtain at least 100 seniors remains. Are there so many seniors remains in the king battlefield? Once this gets out, Fang Ping. Although there are some things that everyone doesn't say, it doesn't mean that they don't understand. When that time comes, if the Paragon feels that it's necessary for you to help all Sino Nation martial artists to advance quickly, that'll be big trouble. After all, you don't have the Paragon's combat strength. Old Manly paused for a moment and said, In the eyes of the Paragon, there are many things that they might not want to do. However, for the sake of the big picture, for the sake of all mankind, they'll do it even if they're condemned by everyone. Although you're valued by the Paragon, you still have to take it easy. Fang Ping was silent for a moment. Then, he said, Actually, some things can't be hidden anymore. I can change my aura. I can even hide it from the true kings. The current desperation powerhouses might not have thought that I can help others cultivate. Even if they didn't mention it, it doesn't mean that they don't know. Instructor, think about it. Don't you have such doubts? Instead of letting others guess, why don't I tell everyone directly that I do have such an ability? At this day and age, is it really more important to mass-produce rank 6 martial artists than me? I've already entered rank 8 7th stage. I'm comparable to a weak rank 9 martial artist. Everyone can see the speed of my improvement. And it's impossible for me to conceal some things. I can't conceal my improvement speed or stop cultivating altogether. That's just waiting for death. Do I have hopes of reaching the Paragon? I think the chances are very high. Those Paragon should be able to feel it too. Is it more important to create a batch of peak rank 6 powerhouses, or am I more important? I'm not just representing myself. If the Vice-Chancellor has really advanced to the Paragon, the Vice-Chancellor and I are also one. You too. I think most of the people in MCMAU are the same, including Wang Jinyang and the rest. Fang Ping actually understood. He smiled and said, If it's for the sake of the big picture, then I'm more important. There's no doubt about this. And if the Paragon's selfishness is so heavy that they'll abandon me, abandon MC Mayu, and abandon some powerhouses who have hopes of reaching the desperation realm just for a little bit of personal gain. If that's really the case, humanity is already hopeless. If the Paragon is like this, can we still hope that these people will really risk their lives for humanity and the enemy during the Great War? Fan Ping took a deep breath and smiled. So I believe that even if they guessed it, they'll choose to ignore it. What if? They won't kill me, right? Fan Ping chuckled, regaining his composure. If they don't kill me, then there's no problem. It's still more important to increase MC Mayu's combat strength. Moreover, I have to pay the price for doing all this. If those Paragon are really willing to pay the corresponding price, it might not be impossible. Old Manly pondered for a moment, and did not say anything more. Starting from November 26th, Fan Ping started helping those rank 6 martial artists to advance. He told the outside world that he had robbed the entire rank 7 region this time and obtained a lot of resources and relics, including those vitality and mentality. Of course, this was actually only for martial artists who knew about the situation of the King battleground. As for whether everyone believed it or not, Fan Ping did not care. Whether they believed it or not, the rank 7 region was almost destroyed. Right now, the others did not know about these situations either. Days like this had been going on continuously. MC Mayu had once again entered a dormant period. These days, even the catacombs battles had lessened. The catacombs' true kings were now aiming at the King battleground. They were holding a 100 Kings conference. Even some of the originally decided strategies had been changed. They did not care about the human side for the time being. In the blink of an eye, it was December. In December, the Martial Arts Association updated the latest martial arts ranking list. This time, Fan Ping did not mention anything about entering the ranking list. MC Mayu almost did not care about this. However, this time, the ranking list was updated. MC Mayu still attracted a lot of attention. This time, there were new people in the rank 9 ranking list. MC Mayu Guixingquan and the other two had advanced to rank 9. FMS Nan Yuping had advanced to rank 9. CC Mayu's vice-chancellor had finally advanced to rank 9. Wang Qinghai, who had been in closed-door cultivation previously, had also advanced. Wang Qinghai had originally planned to go to the Magic City catacombs, but his golden body had been honed to a new stage. He would soon achieve rank 9. Everyone knew about Wu Quishan's situation, but they did not let this kind of powerhouse who was about to advance to help. The loss outweighed the gain. Moreover, the help that a peak rank 8 martial artist could bring was limited. This was also the highest number of people who had advanced in all these years. After the last update of the original rank 9 ranking list, including some people from Star City, the number had reached 42. This time, there were 6 people who had newly advanced to rank 9. Recently, no rank 9 had fallen, including Zhao Xingwu. He had not been removed from the list, and was still in the ranking list. After this update, the number of people in the rank 9 ranking list had reached 48. Among them, Wu Quishan was still ranked 24th. Guixingquan and the other two were ranked 28th, 29th, and 30th respectively. Among the other 3 newly advanced rank 9 powerhouses, CC Mayu's vice-chancellor was ranked 46th, Nan Yuping 47th, and Wang Qinghai was ranked 48th at the bottom of rank 9. 48 rank 9s. MC Mayu had 4 rank 9s in the list. In addition to Wu Chuan and Tian Mu, the 2 rank 9 who had graduated from MC Mayu's reputation had spread all over the world. In the rank 8 ranking list, MC Mayu had created glory again. The first place in rank 8 was firmly occupied by Old Man Li, unshakable. Second place in rank 8, Devil King Fan Ping was impressively in the list. Rank 8 7th Forging Golden Body, rank 9 Combat Boots, rank 8 Divine Armor, Fan Ping had also left behind by Xianyue's rank 9 Battle Axe, but he did not wear it, nor did he use it. With such strength and various tricks, no one would doubt that he was ranked 2nd in rank 8. There were 48 people in the rank 9 ranking list. This time, there were more people in the rank 8 ranking list. From less than 100 people in the past to 108 people last time, until this time, after the rank 8 ranking list was updated, there were a total of 136 people. Even if Guixingquan and the other 6 promoted powerhouses were excluded, the increase was still huge. And all this was related to the brain core cultivation method that Fang Ping brought back. Many rank 7 powerhouses had recently made rapid progress, completing cranial honing and advancing to rank 8. This included Qinzhenhua and the others. This time, they were also treated as rank 8, just that their ranking was lower. Other than MCMAU occupying the first and second place in the rank 8 ranking list, the last 3 in the rank 8 ranking list were Qinzhenhua, Su Guqing, and Hu Mingyi. Lu Polo ranked 104th, Li Hansong ranked 119th. In the rank 8 ranking list, there were 136 people. MCMAU occupied 7 places. The rank 7 ranking list had also changed greatly. The number of rank 7 martial artists had increased from 403 to 412 this time. It did not seem to increase much, but there were many martial artists who had advanced to rank 8. This meant that in these days, there were dozens of martial artists who had advanced to rank 7. 10 years. Not only for MCMAU, but also for Sino Nation's martial arts. In this year, although many powerhouses had fallen, there were even more newly born powerhouses, filling in the gaps. In the past, there were only 33 people in the rank 9 ranking list. After Axe King's fall, there were only 32 people. Now, although there were people from Polaris City on the ranking list, there were also more and more newly promoted rank 9 powerhouses. In the rank 7 ranking list, there were even more people in MCMAU. Tang Feng, Lu Fengru, Qin Fengqing, Luo Yichuan, Zhang Jianhong, Fan Hua, Liang Yuqing, Zhou Shiping, Su Jianzhou. High-ranked martial artists, 4 rank 9s, 7 rank 8s, 9 rank 7s, exactly a huge number of 20 people. And this did not seem to be enough to shock people. This time, MCMAU had also set a new record, turning the entire rank 6 ranking list into a list of 100 people at Mentality Vitality Unity. In the past, peak rank 6 martial artists could generally enter the rank 6 ranking list. This time, the 100 rank 6 powerhouses, without exception, were all powerhouses at Mentality Vitality Unity. And MCMAU, once again, came out on top, shocking people. Both Qin Yunqi and Xia Lei had entered Mentality Vitality Unity as students, occupying 2 places. Song Yingji, Bai Ruoxi, Zhang Yu, Yi Qing, Liang Fenghua, and some veteran instructors, a total of 15 instructors had entered Mentality Vitality Unity. On the list of 100 people, MCMAU occupied 17 places. And this was only the Mentality Vitality Unity. As for rank 6, many people in MCMAU did not make the ranking list, but the number of peak rank 6 instructors in MCMAU had been increasing day and night these few days. 17 Mentality Vitality Unity actually meant 17 potential Grandmasters. However, these people had just achieved Mentality Vitality Unity, so their progress was too fast. It was also relatively difficult for them to quickly step into the Grandmaster realm. Currently, none of them had become Grandmaster level powerhouses. Even so, 17 Mentality Vitality Unity still made people speechless. Not to mention the hundreds of peak rank 6 martial artists. In November, MCMAU had an explosion, shocking everyone. There were even more rank 5 martial artists. This time, it was not the instructors who took the lead. A large number of students advanced to peak rank 5. Zhao Xueme, Yang Xiaoman, Fu Changding, Zhao Lei, these people broke through to rank 5 slightly later. Fan Ping only helped the rank 6 martial artists seal their Sanjiao gate, and did not pay much attention to them. However, these people received a lot of resources and advanced to peak rank 5 one after another, beginning to flood toward rank 6. When the ranking list came out, the outside world was in an uproar. Fan Ping, on the other hand, had a rare rest. These few days, in order to help those rank 6 instructors and students cultivate, he did not sleep or rest, constantly consuming his own vitality and mentality to help. This was a matter that consumed a lot of mentality. Even so, Fan Ping was still very satisfied. In MC Mayu, there were almost no rank 6 martial artists in the middle to upper stages, unless they had just broken through and did not have time to help. As for the others, he had quickly sealed their Sanjiao gate. In the office, at this moment, Fan Ping was not holding the ranking list in his hand. Instead, he was holding the list of the university's instructors and students' abilities, as well as the distribution table of instructors and students of various abilities. 815 instructors. The feedback from the military department is not here yet. Originally, the number of MCMAU instructors had reached 1033. Later, 5 martial artists who were resurrected came, making the number as high as 1038. However, in the 2 battles, 20% of MCMAU instructors had fallen. It had to be said that this ratio was extremely high. When the war started, many students lacked combat experience. A large number of instructors risked their lives. Most of the time, the instructors actually died to protect the students. This was also an important reason why MCMAU students were more eager to become stronger. The instructors dared to fight. In order to reduce the students' burden, they fought to the end. In the 2 battles, the number of casualties was extremely high. 815 people, 20 high-ranked martial artists. 125 rank 6 martial artists, 560 rank 5 martial artists, 110 rank 4 martial artists. This was the strength of MCMAU instructors. Almost all rank 6 martial artists had peak strength, including the 15 instructors who were at unity of vitality. If it were not for some powerful instructors who had fallen, perhaps the number of instructors at unity of vitality could exceed 20. 9,907 students. Originally, there were more than 5,200 senior students in the 3 batches and slightly more than 5,000 new students. After Fan Ping eliminated some of them, and more than 300 people had fallen, there were less than 10,000 students now. Close to 10,000 students, the increase in strength was also extremely terrifying. There were not many rank 6 students. There were only 2, Qinyanqi and CLA. One was close to being thrice-honed, and the other was thrice-honed. With Fan Ping's help, both of them had entered peak rank 6 this time. Fan Ping took special care of both of them. Both of them consumed some fruit of nourishment and entered unity of vitality. There were 2 rank 6 students, not many. However, the number of rank 5 students was much larger. There were 1,080 of them. There were even more rank 4 students, 2,450. There were more than 3,500 middle-ranked students. Including the instructors, MCMAU middle-ranked martial artists had already reached more than 4,000. Almost all the other students had entered rank 3. There were more than 5,000 rank 3 students. MCMAU had entered the era of martial artists as early as September when school started. Now that 3 months had passed, the new students did not lack resources. With the unrestricted supply of energy stones, there was no need to worry about resources from rank 1 to rank 3. They were improving rapidly. There were only slightly more than 1,000 rank 1 and 2 martial artists in MCMAU now. Rank 1 and 2. Fan Ping glanced at the data and raised his head to look at Qinyanqi opposite him. He took a breath and said, "The energy stone supply has been unrestricted. It's difficult for other schools to even obtain vitality pills. We're using the energy stones used by middle-ranked and high-ranked martial artists. We're even using cultivationating energy stones, rank 9. It can be said that in the whole country, no, in the whole world, there's no place more extravagant than us. Not even the big sacred lands. They have the martial arts tower, but they recycle it, not like us, directly absorb and digest it. I've even used energy liquids. This is a treatment that the sacred lands don't have. Forget about the sacred lands. Even in the catacombs, other than those descendants of the true king, no one is more extravagant than MCMAU. In this way, there are still people who haven't advanced to rank 3. There's a threshold between middle stage and upper stage rank 3. I know this. That's why I can understand the students stopping at rank 3. But these 1,000 people, what's going on? Fan Ping's expression did not look too good. He said in a low voice, "The resources are so expensive. Even the pinnacle is saying that I'm wasteful and that I don't know how to save. The Wuhan military, which is directly under the 3 departments and 4 prefectures, doesn't even consume 1/10 of the resources I provide. I'm spending money to buy time. I'm buying time for everyone. Everyone should cherish opportunities like this and not be ignorant at this time. The new students have only been in school for 3 months. With sufficient resources, I can understand why they haven't reached rank 3 in 3 months. But I've looked around. Among the new students, there are only about 1,200 people who haven't reached rank 3. In other words, there are close to 200 students who are sophomores and above who haven't reached rank 3. Fan Ping paused for a moment and continued. Since last year, I've been constantly creating opportunities for everyone and constantly providing resources for everyone. Vice-Chancellor Liu and the others even said that what I'm doing is completely wasteful. The sophomores have been in school for 15 months now. Before, they could borrow money. After that, they provided everything for free. In 15 months, a group of martial artists who were hailed as geniuses have spent countless resources and still haven't reached rank 3. Fan Ping chuckled. Back then, everyone was fighting for one vitality pill. Under those circumstances, there were still students who could enter rank 4 or even rank 5. It's not uncommon to see rank 3 students. Normal martial arts universities don't have as much resources as us, but they still have many rank 3 students. They spent 4 years, which is the longest. As for us, our starting point is higher than theirs. Our resources are 1,000 times more abundant than theirs. We don't even have to do missions. As Fan Ping said this, his expression turned ugly. I'm afraid it's not that they can't. They're unwilling. In a team of 10,000 students, many of them are very young. In a short period of time, hundreds of MCMAU instructors and students have died. Is there really no one who isn't afraid of death? I don't believe that there's no one who isn't afraid of death. But I've given many people a chance. If you're afraid of death, you can leave MCMAU. In MCMAU, you've used up a lot of resources. That means you have to participate in the war. These 200 or so non-freshman students. Fan Ping took a deep breath. Opposite him, Shinichi's expression changed slightly. She said softly, Fan Ping, are you really not going to give them a chance? Not anymore. Fan Ping sighed. Since they're not willing to fight for MCMAU and for humanity, why waste resources and time in the school? They even have to suppress their cultivation speed. How painful is that? 15 months is at least equivalent to 6 years of martial arts university students' cultivation, maybe even longer. MCMAU students, after 6 years of cultivation, can't they really reach rank 3? Yunqi, do you believe it? Qin Yunqi shook her head. She did not believe it either. No one who could enter MCMAU was an idiot. They were well versed in both the pen and the sword. Under these circumstances, the golden period of cultivation was equivalent to more than 6 years of cultivation for MCMAU students. This was only for sophomores. For juniors, it was even longer. Why can't they enter rank 3? If they can't, it means they don't want to. In today's war, high ranks are the main force. Middle ranks are also the main combat strength. Rank 3s are the support. Rank 1s rarely go to the battlefield. Let them leave. Fan Ping sighed. Then, he smiled and said, Rank 1 and 2 martial artists don't waste much resources. Forget it. After all, we're classmates. I don't want to look into it anymore. These 200 or so non-freshman students are expelled. Whoever wants to take them can take them. Under these circumstances, they're not willing to cultivate properly. They've even given up the opportunity in front of them. Maybe I'm too good to them, making them think that resources are everywhere. More than 9,900 students. More than 200 have been eliminated. There are still more than 9,000 left. Fang Ping paused and said, "From today onwards, MCMU will implement the last place elimination system. Middle ranks can't enter the assessment. From now on, martial artists in the 3 lower ranks will be directly eliminated if they rank in the last 100 every month for 2 consecutive times. When martial artists reach the middle ranks, when MCMU's counterattack ends, the middle-ranked martial artists will also undergo assessment. The assessment criteria will be based on battle results, contribution, and loot from the catacombs. If they don't meet the standards, these people won't be qualified to leave the university. Send them to the military department to carry out garrison missions. Repay the resources consumed during the university period. Come up with some plans and tell everyone about this. Although I'm eager to improve MCMAU's strength, I don't want my contribution to become a loophole that some people think they can exploit." Qin Yunxi nodded again. No one would object to Fang Ping's decision, not even her. Moreover, there were more than 10,000 people in the school. It was unrealistic to say that all of them were wholeheartedly fighting for MCMAU and humanity. There had to be some restrictions on this group of people. The two of them exchanged a few words. Qin Yunxi noticed that Fang Ping was not in a good mood. She suddenly laughed and said, "Fang Ping, Yuan Yuan has also reached middle stage rank 3. She's improving very quickly." Fang Ping shook his head and laughed. "Her? This girl is twice honed after all. Middle stage rank 3 is nothing. I'll be thankful if she doesn't cause trouble for me. I usually don't have much time to take care of her. Please help me take care of her. I heard that she ran into the catacombs previously. This damned girl, I'll deal with her sooner or later." That brat Fang Yuan had recklessly followed some people into the catacombs. She was not strong enough, so she took up a logistics job in Hope City. Even so, Fang Ping was shocked when he heard the news. Fortunately, the girl was discovered in time. Wu Quishan and the others were aware of the situation and forcefully sent her out. If Fang Yuan had died in Hope City, Fang Ping would not have known what he would have done to Fang Ping if she had died in Hope City. 9 Heaven's Divine Emperors. Chapter 787. The Office. Fang Ping and Qin Yunxi were talking when a silhouette appeared outside the door. "Are you busy? I'm not interrupting you, am I?" A playful voice was heard. Fang Ping's expression changed slightly. He felt helpless. Desperate situation was indeed scary. Outside the door, the muscular warlord was carrying a fatty in his arms, a smile on his face. Fang Ping got up quickly and smiled. "Senior Warlord is here. Please take a seat." Warlord looked around and chuckled. "Kid Zhang, don't stare at me. If you stare any longer, I'll hammer you to death. Do you believe me?" After a while, Warlord curled his lips and chuckled. "Zhang Tao, this kid. He peeks at this and that just because he has a strong mentality. He's not a good person. Kid, next time you're in a relationship, send a voice transmission. With your strength, he'll notice you peeping at him. Voice transmission should be difficult to detect." Fang Ping chuckled. "I'm used to it. So be it. It's too close. He can't help it. It's understandable." They were so close. The NCMAU passageway led directly to the catacombs entrance. It was right under Zhang Tao's nose. It would be strange if old Zhang did not peep. "You're right. Ancestor, can you put me down?" Jiang Chao, who was being carried, looked helpless. "I'm a living person, not a doll. What's the ancestor doing?" Warlord seemed to have just remembered this guy. He tossed him on the ground and chuckled. "Kid, you asked Startown to contact me because you wanted to ask about the Magic City catacombs? Coincidentally, I wanted to find you too. Let's have a chat." As Warlord spoke, he found a seat and sat down. He leaned on the sofa, wiggled his butt, and said with satisfaction, "It's very comfortable. Little fatty, write it down. Ask your grandfather to change the Jiang family's old furniture for me. They're all like this." I've sat on Mount Imperial Sea for hundreds of years. My butt is almost swollen. Damn, I still have to sit on hardwood when I go home. How does your grandfather do things? Jiang Chao smiled sheepishly at Fang Ping and Qin Yunqi. The corner of his mouth twitched. Don't mind him. My ancestor is old and uncultured. He's just so rude. The warlord seemed to have sensed the commotion, but he could not be bothered with it. He chuckled and said, Let's sit down and have a chat. Also, I brought little Fatty here because I need your help with something. This kid was lucky enough to enter rank 7, but in the end, it was almost impossible to survive in the rank 7 region. Going to the rank 8 region would be courting death. But with his temperament, how could he increase his strength? I heard that you got a lot of good stuff in the Forbidden Zone. Kid, give this kid some. I'm going to help him enter the 8th rank. He said helplessly. Senior, it's not that I can't bear to part with it, but Jiang Chao has entered rank 7. If he wants to increase his mentality, it's best if he has the heavenly golden lotus or an even better treasure. I had some before, but now. Don't give me that. I won't take it for free. The War King was all smiles as he said, Don't you have 3 more in your storeroom? I should be able to give one to the little fatty. Oh right, I should also give a few golden body fruits as well. It just so happens that Jiang Hao and the little fatty could use them to temper their skulls. If the 2 kids can enter rank 8, the Jiang family will have some hope. Also, give me some sunflower fruits. Although the little fatty's father is useless, no matter how useless he is, he's still a Jiang family descendant. It's embarrassing for him to be stuck at rank 6. Give me some sunflower fruits and see if they can help him advance to rank 7, so that he won't embarrass the Jiang family. The muscular War King was very straightforward. Without waiting for Fang Ping to speak, he said immediately, Don't talk, I saw it, it's not fake. Also, I said I won't take it for free, so I won't take it for free. I'll count, for you, kid, how many times have I fought? Nanjiang Catacombs once, the rank 8 region once, the Battle of the Sky Gate once. I gave you the Magic City battle for free, that was a must at that time. Fighting 3 times, these are all extra, kid, do you understand? Also, I gave you an avatar. Forget it, killing the people from the evil sect, this old man will give it to you. I won't take any favors. You've repaid the matter with the Yang family, now you still owe me 2 favors. Heavenly Golden Lotus, Golden Body Fruit, these things, although the value is not bad, compared to Absolute Peak's favor, it's still a little lacking, I'll take it as a favor. Kid, it's hard to repay a favor, do you understand this? Is there a problem with exchanging a favor? Fang Ping smiled and said, Since Senior has said so, then Fang Ping won't say anything more. Actually, the Heavenly Golden Lotus has already been reserved. Senior also knows that MCMAU has a high demand. However, since Senior has spoken, then I'll take out 1 Heavenly Golden Lotus, 3 Golden Body Fruits, 20 Sunflower Fruits. What do you think, Senior? Bright. War King smiled and nodded. Without waiting for Fang Ping to say anything, he waved his hand. The materials that Fang Ping mentioned appeared in his hand, shaking his head and saying, These things are not put in the storage ring, they're in the storeroom. When Absolute Peak came, he conveniently took them away. I'm surprised that Zhang Tao didn't take these things away. Fang Ping's expression changed slightly. Amazing! An impasse realm was really much stronger than he had imagined, not just in terms of strength, but also in terms of various means. Fang Ping did not say anything, sitting opposite War King. Seeing that Qin Yunqi was at a loss, he smiled and said, Yunqi, sit down too. Let's have a chat, Senior War King. This is the hero who has protected humanity for hundreds of years. Now, Senior is guarding the Magic City catacombs, and he's also MC Mayu's guardian. War King's expression changed slightly, but he quickly smiled and said, Kid, as soon as you said that, someone was unhappy. His mentality started scanning again, preparing to attack you. Luckily, this old man's strength is strong enough to block it. It's a martial arts university, after all. That's someone's self-proclaimed guardian of martial arts universities. Now that you've said that, it's like a slap to the face, it's really infuriating. Fan Ping rolled his eyes. What was up with Zhang Tao recently? War King was here, and he was just being courteous, but this old man was actually jealous? Fan Ping coughed softly and said, Senior, after you've seen it, can you block him off? Listening in here all the time, it's not suitable. No problem. War King agreed without hesitation. His mentality fluctuated instantly, and in the next moment, a weak wave of mentality was worn away. He chuckled and said, There's no problem now. This is the part of this kid that's annoying. He wants to meddle in everything. Doesn't he find it tiring? This is the first time I've left Star Town, and I've been looking around. Along the way, he's been staring at me. It's so annoying! After War King finished laughing, he said, Tell me, what do you want to ask this old man? About the Magic City catacombs? After you guys left, Green Wolf King and Bamboo King were furious. They made those rank 9 martial artists guard the passageway entrance, and they haven't left yet. Based on past situations, these guys might attack Mount Imperial Sea, lure Zhang Tao and Legion inside, and let them kill their way out. But this time, these true kings seem to be busy. These few days, I've sensed the aura of many true kings, and they're all gathering in the depths of the restricted area. Recently, the number of true kings in Mount Imperial Sea has decreased a lot. I'm guessing something big has happened about the king battleground. The 2 kings should be reviving soon. Those guys are discussing this. These words were not said by Fan Ping, but from the void. At this moment, War King's old face flushed red. The next moment, he was furious. He gritted his teeth and cursed. Zhang Tao! His face was swollen from the slap. He had just said that everything was fine, that there was no problem, and that he had gotten rid of Zhang Tao's mentality remnant. In the end, this guy still had mentality remnant here. Zhang Tao seemed to be taking revenge for what happened earlier. He chuckled and said, Just passing by, just passing by. Senior War King, please continue. I still have something to do, so I'll leave first. Coincidentally, Magic City Catacombs Senior can help guard for a few days. I still need to make a trip to Capital City. Right, the Catacombs should be holding the 100 Kings Conference. It's fine for you to rest for a while, Senior. Also, Senior, you have to be careful. Fan Ping will tell you about the surveillance, lest you fall into a trap. Also, Senior, don't be careless. After all, your mentality isn't that strong, humph. With a cold snort, War King directly shattered his mentality remnant. This guy was really despicable. This was a slap to the face. I'm already a few 100 years old. Can't you show me some face? You still have to show off. Show that your mentality is very strong? This time, Zhang Tao's voice stopped abruptly. Very soon, War King humphed. He's gone. Wu Quishan has been taken away too. I don't know what this kid is going to do. The Vice-Chancellor has been taken away? Fan Ping was shocked. War King laughed. It's fine. It shouldn't be a bad thing. Maybe he's looking for that kid Legion to help him sort out his origin path. It's a good thing. But you're quite capable, kid. I killed that Xianyu guy. I couldn't even seize his origin path. His grandson actually managed to cultivate something. Kid, you have to count me in on this. If I don't kill him, it's useless even if you get it. Forget it, I won't look for you. If Wu Quishan becomes a paragon, the cycle of karma will happen. He will definitely owe me a big favor. War King was very open-minded. He had to look for Wu Quishan for this matter. He was the one who killed Xianyu. If he killed Xianyu, Fan Ping would only be able to get his hands on the true king's ultimate technique. Otherwise, it would be an ultimate technique that had nothing to do with the origin path. If Wu Quishan really became a paragon and owed Fan Ping a big favor, he would also owe him. Fan Ping could not be bothered with this. Old Wu would solve his own problems. If Old Wu really became a paragon, there would be trouble and he would owe a lot of favors. Fan Ping did not continue this topic. He coughed softly. Senior, we'll talk about the Magic City catacombs later. This time, I'm actually looking for you because I need your help with a small matter. Having said that, 100 king coins suddenly appeared in front of Fang Ping. He chuckled. Senior, can you help me take a look? Is this thing hard to replicate? War King glanced at it and laughed. This thing is very simple. What 100 king coin, right? It's just something that true kings use to fool people. It's nothing to be tainted with a little paragon's willpower. Having said that, War King seemed to have thought of something. He glanced at Fang Ping and laughed. Kid, you have a plan? Are you planning to sneak in again? But I have to remind you, when it comes to counterfeiting, Zhang Tao is actually better at it. His mentality is strong. If it's counterfeited, most true kings might not be able to detect it. As for me, although my mentality isn't weak, if people like Life King and King Qian find out that I'm counterfeiting 100 king coin, they'll definitely notice that something's wrong. It's still better for normal true kings. If you want it to be foolproof, then look for Zhang Tao. If you're not worried about Life King and the others finding out, this old man can help you forge it without a problem. Fang Ping smiled quickly. You'll do! Senior, you're powerful. 100 king coins are just external objects. Those true kings won't care. The probability of being discovered is very low. That's not a problem, Fang Ping said hurriedly. About the fee. War King waved his hand graciously. This is nothing. What kind of person do you think I am? Before he could finish, his expression suddenly changed. At this moment, tens of thousands of energy crystals appeared in front of Fang Ping. They had all been polished into the shape of 100 king coins. War King's expression stiffened. He coughed softly and said, This? 1 or 2 is fine, but these tens of thousands that cough. The old man was speechless. What were you trying to do? Rob the restricted area? Tens of thousands. Although it wasn't troublesome to create them, he still had to fill them with wool one by one, which was quite troublesome. The catacombs' 100 king coins were not made by one true king, but many true kings. Warlord realized that he had underestimated Fang Ping. When this fellow heard that he didn't want money, he actually took out tens of thousands of coins. Seeing that Warlord was evading, Fang Ping smiled hurriedly and said, Senior, the next time I go to the catacombs, the 100 king coins will be useful. I'll buy some maple fruits or something for Jiang Chao and Jiang Hao. Those are the real treasures. It was frighteningly expensive. One maple fruit in the catacombs was worth 800 caddies of life essence, which was equivalent to 8,000 million coins. Actually, 10,000 was not a lot. If Senior is willing, it would be even better if you could make 100,000 of them. When the time comes, Senior and I will split it 50-50. I will even buy 4 or 5 maple fruits for Jiang Chao and Jiang Hao. In the catacombs, the exchange ratio of life essence to energy ores was 1:10. In other words, 1 kilogram of life essence could be exchanged for 10 kilograms of energy stones. 800 caddies of life essence was a fact. That was the price Ji Yao and Fang Ping had agreed upon. It was equivalent to 8,000 caddies of energy stones, which was not a small amount. However, 1 million coins was equivalent to 100 caddies, so 800 king coins were enough. However, Fang Ping was bullying Warlord and the others for not knowing the prices in the catacombs. Seeing that Warlord had not said anything, Fang Ping smiled and said, The effect of the maple fruit is better than the heavenly golden lotus. I mean, the effect of a whole flower. When my mentality was around 4,000 hertz, I swallowed 2 of them and it went straight to 5,000 hertz and above. If I were to cultivate and rely on myself, it would be impossible without 3 to 5 years. Senior, if I'm like this, Jiang Chao will be in even more trouble. That's why if Jiang Chao wants to improve quickly, he can't do without treasures like the maple fruit. Beside him, Jiang Chao said hurriedly, Elder Ancestor, I'll rely on you. I'm just doing some chores in exchange for the maple fruit, Elder Ancestor. Warlord glanced at him, cursing in his heart. Idiot! This kid must have taken advantage of me. Maple fruits for 8,000? 5,000 million coins at most. He was obviously taking advantage of me. But this seemed to be extra earnings. If he took it, so be it. Warlord felt that even if Fan Ping took advantage of him, he probably did not take much. Did this kid have such a big appetite? So greedy? He did not know that Fan Ping had taken advantage of him 100 times, 100 times more. Remembering that mentality treasures were hard to come by, Warlord waved his hand and summoned the energy crystals, smiling. All right, I'll give them to you in a few days. I need some time. I'll give you 50,000 to try. It's quite troublesome. This old man needs to work without sleep for at least half a month. I don't ask for much. Just get me 2 maple fruits. Fan Ping nodded quickly, calculating in his heart. 2 maple fruits for 160 king coins was actually not a low price. It was 16,000 caddies of energy stones. Of course, that was because the catacombs' energy stones had depreciated. Still, it was quite expensive. Giving Warlord this much for him to do some manual labor should be considered fair to Warlord. As for whether he could spend the 50,000 he made, Fan Ping did not care. Spending a few thousand was enough. He was thinking, if he threw all 50,000 king coins into the catacombs, would the catacombs' powerhouses go crazy? Whether the 100 king coins were real or fake, only life kings and a few true kings could tell. However, the catacombs' powerhouses, including rank 9 powerhouses, actually had a lot of 100 king coins on hand. It was the same for powerhouses without storage rings. If there were a lot of fake 100 king coins, they would not be able to use them. Fan Ping suspected that those powerhouses would break down. They might even dare to rebel against the Hall of True Kings. If it was someone else, their life savings would become waste paper. It would be strange if they did not go crazy. In reality, if there were a lot of fake banknotes in the market, it would cause chaos in society, and everyone would be in danger. After this, the catacombs' economic system will probably change. I'll be considered to have contributed to the catacombs. When that time comes, I'll probably have to get a fake anti-counterfeiting label. Fan Ping did not continue this topic, lest Warlord asked him about the prices of the catacombs later. The matter of the 100 king coins was settled. Fan Ping was not in a hurry. He still did not know when he would enter the restricted area. After saying that, Fan Ping said, Senior, if I want to enter the Magic City catacombs in advance, will it be difficult? Entering the Magic City catacombs. Warlord pondered. After a while, he said, It's not too difficult. I can cross Mount Royal Sea and send you directly to the Magic City catacombs. Recently, Bamboo King and the others have left. As long as I don't enter the outskirts, I won't attract any attention. But, are you sure you want to go? Warlord said slowly. It's very dangerous. If you enter the Magic City catacombs, you'll be at the edge of Mount Royal Sea. You'll have to rely on yourself to cross the outskirts. There are many cities in the Magic City catacombs, and there are many towns and cities in the depths. Fan Ping laughed. Senior, have you forgotten? I can even enter the restricted area, not to mention the outskirts. Even if I'm discovered, it's no big deal. I'm also a rank 8 7th level martial artist now. Even if I face the path of origin, I'm not completely helpless. I don't have to defend one place. If I can't win, I can escape. If you're willing to help, I plan to go to the Magic City catacombs in the near future. That's nothing. If you're coming, remember to go to Star Town and inform me in advance. Warlord replied, then said, Also, if you go, it's best if you don't go to the Magic City catacombs bounded area. Fan Ping frowned slightly and said in surprise, Senior, you should know that I've entered the Xuanda Grotto Heaven before and returned safely. The seniors in the bounded area are actually quite easy to talk to, including the cultivation methods you've taught me. Warlord frowned. There are 8 intact bounded areas in Sino Nation. This is recorded in my notes. You should know. Among these 8 bounded areas, you've been to the Tianan Catacombs bounded area and the Shishan Catacombs bounded area, these places are relatively safer. However, the Magic City Catacombs bounded area is much more dangerous. I've never been there before, but Heavenly King Garrison has actually been there once. I don't know what's going on inside, but the repulsion towards us and the catacombs martial artists is quite intense. Or rather, it's not a matter of repulsion, but the seal is stronger. Previously you said that there are people inside the bounded area. That fellow Zhang Tao guessed that the ancient martial artists inside are reviving. Perhaps the ancient martial artists here in Magic City have revived to a critical moment, or perhaps they were even more powerful when they were alive. In short, it's xenophobic, powerful, dangerous. This is the situation inside Magic City's bounded area. At this point, Warlord thought for a while and said, "Also, there are some differences here. There are many powerful monsters in Magic City's bounded area, native monsters. Very powerful. Because I wasn't stationed here in the past, I don't know too much about it. However, I'm roughly aware that the demons in this bounded area have once waged war with the demons in Imperial Sea Mountain." Fan Ping said with a look of surprise. "Waged war? The demons in the bounded area can't enter Imperial Sea Mountain, right? After they leave the bounded area, they have to cross many places, and then use the passageway to enter Imperial Sea Mountain. This is very difficult, isn't it? I'm not too sure. Maybe there's a passageway between the bounded area and Imperial Sea Mountain. We didn't investigate this in depth either." At this point, Warlord said in surprise, "You really want to enter the bounded area?" "I plan to." Warlord pondered for a moment. Suddenly, he took a deep breath and said slowly, "Let me tell you, don't treat any bounded area as a human territory. I'm not too sure about the situation in some bounded areas. The battle in the King battlefield should be a relic left behind in the bounded area. But in the King battlefield, perhaps you haven't been there much, so you don't know much. As far as I know, someone in Suppressing Star City has encountered a situation where 2 human martial artists perished together," Warlord said with a heavy expression. "In the past, it was fine if there were no living people, and we didn't care about the situation back then. But now that you've been there and said that you met a living person, we also believe it. After all, you've obtained the cultivation method. If there are really people alive in the bounded area, the senior you met in the West Mountain bounded area might be on the human side. Or perhaps he was kind. But in other places, it's hard to say. Even being enemies with each other, that's a very normal thing. In the bounded area back then, not everyone was united. Maybe they didn't deal with each other, maybe they had conflicts, or they were simply mortal enemies. If there are living people in the Magic City bounded area, and they happen to have a grudge against that living person in the Schwanda Grotto, kid, you're in big trouble. So I have to say one more thing, don't go to the bounded area recklessly. No one knows what's going on, and we can't enter. Once something happens inside, then we won't be able to come back. There's a grudge. Being enemies with each other? Fan Ping's heart trembled slightly. Back then, Feng Mieshing had actually said something like this. The battle in the King battlefield back then might not have been led by the 2 kings. It was led by humans. Fan Ping took a deep breath and asked hurriedly, "Senior, those people in the bounded area, can they leave the bounded area?" "I'm talking about the inner periphery. I feel like they can't control the outer periphery," Warlord said casually. "Who knows? Anyway, I've never encountered it. But it probably won't work." As Warlord said that, he chuckled and said, "Actually, it's best not to take risks if you can. In these godforsaken places like the bounded area, there are many opportunities, but the danger is also great. I don't know what the bunch of old things inside are thinking. Maybe after so many years, they've long become psychopaths. Don't think that just because the people in the Schwanda Grotto gave you some benefits, that they're good people. Who knows, they might be plotting something. These people's sects were destroyed, and they're trapped. Kid, I'll say this again. There are so many bounded areas. Back then, it was actually a little unusual for these people to be trapped together." Warlord patted Jiang Chao's head, causing him to grimace. he said thoughtfully. Trapped, they're all trapped together. Actually, from what I see, this is not right. Maybe there's a plan, or maybe it was arranged beforehand. Maybe they can already come out, but they just don't and are waiting. Waiting for what? Waiting for an opportunity. Warlord chuckled. As for what opportunity, I'm not too sure either. That's what it feels like. Maybe they're waiting for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Emperor? Or something else? Who knows? Regardless of them. At this point, Fang Ping suddenly said, Senior, don't tell me you're not from the bounded area? Or should I say, seniors, you're from the group of people from 1,000 years ago? I saw that some of those people had revived, but I haven't found any traces of them. I don't know if the Hall of Myriad Origins is damaged, or if someone has revived us? Warlord broke into laughter. Our situation is a little complicated. Also, the 13 people from Polaris City. Actually, not all of us are from the same group. How should I put it? It's hard to say. Anyway, the situation is very complicated. There are 13 of us. Let's put it this way. Some of us may be from the domain, some of us may be resurrected from the land of kings, and some of us may be part of the group of people brought by the demon emperor 1,000 years ago. What I said are all possibilities, which means that I'm not sure either. When we gather together, we don't talk about the past, we don't talk about these things. Each of us has our own thoughts, our own ideas. Besides, the one who knows the most about these things is the Li family's old geezer. That old geezer knows a lot. Actually, we got together because of him. But that old geezer pretended to be dead and refused to say anything. Who knows what he's thinking? At this point, Warlord grinned. But it's fine. That old geezer. I don't think he's a bad person. He might have some other thoughts, but he's generally a good person. As Warlord said that, he chuckled. Kid, I'll give you another secret for free. Over at the King battlefield, if the two kings have really revived, you'd better make a trip there and bring Yao Qingjun and the rest along. These fellows might have something to do with the King battlefield. Over at the King battlefield, there are still some desperate realm living dead. Do you know about this? Fang Ping nodded. Yes, Jiang Chao said that someone had tried to break into the rank 9 territory and was attacked by a paragon. Yes, it's that guy. Although only one was discovered that year, it doesn't mean that there's only one. If Yao Qingjun and the rest are really revivers from the paragons, it might be this group of people. Of course, it might not be accurate. But no matter what, if we go there, we might gain something. These Paragon Daos have all turned into Chaos Origin Daos. Now, they can't be separated anymore, they're all mixed together. But if they're the original owners... Kid, do you know about war armor? Warlord grinned. Using one's original life origin to control the flesh, drilling directly into the flesh, using oneself as the core. Mother Asterisk Kerr, that's a robot war armor. No, it's the absolute war armor. Kid, if there's really a body preserved, it'll be a big win. You can use yourself as half of a paragon. Of course, it's definitely not as good as a real desperate realm. After all, it's a dead person. You could even use the method of refining divine weapons to refine a complete corpse of a paragon. Moreover, it's of the same origin. Even if they reach the desperate realm, they can also refine this thing into a powerful weapon. You have to know, who in the desperate realm has things like divine weapons? Killing a paragon demon to refine a divine weapon? Who has such great ability? Even the Li family's old geezer can't kill a paragon demon beast in one piece. The paragon is not stupid. Knowing that he's going to die, why would I leave the corpse for you to trample on? Fang Ping's heart stirred. Were old Yao and the rest the paragons who died in battle back then? Were there any remains left? These people could actually control a complete corpse. Did that not mean that once old Wang and the rest entered the depths of the King battlefield, they might be able to obtain a paragon's corpse, drill into it to control the paragon's body, and start a war with the paragon? This piece of information sent by Warlord was indeed useful. Fang Ping immediately said, I know, but... But the king battlefield was too chaotic. Now that the two kings might revive and the other catacombs powerhouses were watching, going in now was too troublesome and dangerous. If it was not old Zhao and the rest's past lives, they might be killed. That's not right. Fan Ping's heart suddenly trembled. Can I use it? I can imitate the life origin. No, I can only imitate those weaker than me. I can't imitate the paragon. Fan Ping suddenly shook his head. Then, he pondered another question. Paragon was actually also a rank 9 origin powerhouse. They were essentially the same. It was just that they had gone further. If I reached rank 9 origin, could I not imitate the paragon? I'm not sure. I'll think about it when I reach the origin realm. Fan Ping sighed in his heart. He would wait and see. If it was old Wang and the rest's past lives, he could actually borrow it. He could still imitate old Wang and the rest's aura. 9 Heavens Divine Emperor. Chapter 788. In the office, Fan Ping and Warlord had a rather congenial conversation. As they chatted, Fan Ping lamented, "Senior is much more reliable than the minister. Senior still has the air of a great general. No matter what, the minister is still one of the highest leaders of humanity. He's so petty, of course." The War King didn't want to pass on this responsibility. He smiled and said, "All right, stop flattering this old man." As for Zhang Tao, how should he put it? He had to bear a greater responsibility. He is one of the strategists of the human race, while we are the vanguard. We just need to focus on killing. He has to consider the overall situation. The more one thinks, the more complicated one's thoughts become. Also, don't blabber on about these things. That guy might still be listening. Sooner or later, he'll settle the score with you. Senior, you flatter me. Gotcha. The sofa exploded. The War King's face turned ashen as he cursed. Mother **Cur, you're really here? Are you trying to bully me because my mental strength isn't as strong as yours? Come on, let's spar! How dare you eavesdrop on me? There was no sign of life. Fan Ping was also speechless. Was old Zhang crazy? Eavesdropping was fine, but why did you have to show off in front of the warlord? Did you really think that I didn't have any friends? Let's see if you can still be cocky when we join hands at the summit of Startown City, and beat you up until you're crying for your parents. He was still imagining the scene of old Zhang being brutally beaten up when Warlord suddenly raised his eyebrows and looked at Fan Ping. That brat Zhang Tao told me to ask for more benefits from you. He said you tricked me? Is that true? Fan Ping was speechless. He said helplessly, "Of course it's fake. I didn't give him face for the past few days, and he's been suppressing his anger for a long time, but he can't deal with me. Now that Senior is here, he's deliberately provoking me. A person like the minister has too many tricks up his sleeves. He never forgets about this. Senior, do I need to trick you? Which do you think is easier, to make tens of thousands of 100 king coins in exchange for a few maple fruits? He's angry that I didn't look for him, so he purposely wanted to ruin the deal. He's so evil." "That makes sense." The War King nodded slightly. Zhang Tao was indeed not a good person. Fan Ping had asked him for a business deal instead of him. He was probably unhappy and was purposely trying to make his presence known. He couldn't be bothered with him. This time, the War Monarch's spiritual power erupted. He scanned the area several times and snorted. "If he appears again, I'll consider him powerful." However, if he appeared again, he would no longer be Zhang Tao. There was something wrong with this guy. How could there be such a powerful spiritual force? Spiritual force was difficult to cultivate, and it would not be surprising even if it was at the peak. I'll admit that this guy is a little stronger than me. His spiritual power is separated by more than 1,000 miles and he can still avoid my detection. This guy has a big problem. Try again. The Battle King had an unfriendly expression on his face. It didn't matter whether Jiang Tao was here or not. Try saying that again. If you say another word, I will frame you and say that you are the reincarnation of the demon emperor or some other old ghost. Sure enough, there was no more sound. The Battle King didn't care whether Jiang Tao was here or not. It was better if that guy was here. He would suffocate him to death. The Battle Monarch did not speak further about the domain boundaries, nor did he speak of anything else. He looked at Jiang Chao again, appearing slightly hesitant. After thinking for a while, he still said, "It's best if little fatty doesn't go to the king battlefield for now. However, if you don't fight at all, this mentality will be loose and condensed. That won't do either. It's not just him. Fang Ping, you too. If you fight too much, your mentality will be too loose. When it's loose, it'll be like a sieve. The mentality that you forcefully increase isn't very stable. Little fatty, I'm considering whether I should stay in MC Mayu and participate in a few battles." As soon as he said that, Jiang Chao's expression changed drastically. He said in despair, "No! Ancestor, I won't do it. MCMAU is so dangerous. We fight every day. So many people have died. You still want me to stay with Fang Ping and the others? Didn't you say that they are jinxas?" Fang Ping's expression was dark. He quickly recovered his smile and glanced at Jiang Chao. His smile sent chills down Jiang Chao's spine. But he would not do it. He would not stay in MC Mayu. Jiang Chao hurriedly put on a smile and said, "Ancestor, it's the same if I go to other places. For example, Shishan Catacombs or the Forbidden Catacombs." The Battle King's expression was unfriendly. The Forbidden Catacombs had been destroyed. The high ranks were all gone. "You want to go? Shishan Catacombs?" There had not been a battle for many years. But a battle might break out soon. Thinking about it, MCMAU was indeed dangerous. Fang Ping and the others were prepared to fight back. That would be a battle between rank 9s. Thinking of this, Warlord laughed and said, "All right, let's go to Shishan Catacombs. Coincidentally, Li Jin's grandson is there too. You can go and be his companion." Fang Ping felt that these words were a little ambiguous. Was it Li Jin's grandson, Li Yiming, or Li Jin's grandson? But thinking about it, it was the same. Li Jin did not seem to be Warlord's grandson. Warlord was not wrong no matter what. Jiang Chao did not know about this. When he heard that they were going to Shishan Catacombs, he beamed with joy. Shishan was good, Shishan was good. He would not come to MC Mayu. MC Mayu had a few children of destiny. If he came here, he would just be waiting for death. Look at how MC Mayu was cursed. How many people had died in such a short time? Why didn't so many people die in other places? In so many years, MC Mayu had only lost thousands of people. In the end, when Fang Ping and the others came to MC Mayu, 700 to 800 people died in 1 or 2 years. Even the old vice-chancellor was cursed to death. The new principal, Wu Quishan, had not even warmed his seat and was almost killed by the curse. It was hard to say whether he would die or not. What did this mean? It meant that the position could not be higher than Fang Ping. If it was higher, it would be cursed to death. Jiang Chao calculated in his heart. Lu Pola was the honorary vice-chancellor. He did not have any real power. It would be difficult to curse him to death. Huang Jing was the real first deputy vice-chancellor. If this cursed him to death, Fang Ping just happened to take over. As for Wu Quishan, Fang Ping might have taken over a little too quickly. Therefore, if Wu Quishan did not step down now, he would be cursed to death sooner or later. It would not work even if he was at the top. Thinking of this, Jiang Chao felt the need to write an anonymous letter to Wu Quishan. He had to believe, accept his fate, and resign as soon as possible. He was lucky this time, but next time might not be the same. If he did not step down now, when Fang Ping reached rank 9, he would really curse him to death. That's true. He's a child of destiny. He has to find something to do even if he has nothing better to do. There are big battles every day, and there are endless small battles. I heard that old Zhang and the others have cursed wherever they went, cursed whoever they met. Old Zhang cursed his way up, cursing the former Minister of Education to death. This fellow Fang Ping, he wouldn't curse old Zhang to death too, would he? The former Minister of Education was only a rank 9. If he cursed him to death, it would be because he was not tough enough. Old Zhang was a top paragon after all. Moreover, he was the previous generation's child of destiny. He wouldn't die, would he? Or would they mutually curse each other until one of them dies? Jiang Chao's gaze was unfocused for a moment. This question was so complicated. Zhang Tao, Li Jin, and Nan Yunhua were considered the previous generation's children of destiny. 3 people. Fang Ping, Li Han Song, Wang Jinyang, and Yao Qingjun were considered this generation's. No, perhaps Qin Fengqing should be added too. 5 people. 5 against 3, they had the advantage in numbers. However, Fang Ping and the others were weaker. Who would curse who? Also, Wang Jinyan had already cursed all the NMAU students who were stronger than him. Yao Qingjun's side was not right. Should he write another anonymous letter to Nan Yunping? She might have broken through to rank 9, but it was better to take it easy. FMS did not seem to have many casualties. Magic City catacombs had been lost this time. Fang Ping would probably fight back. FMS was in Magic City. Fang Ping would invite FMS, right? Nan Yunping was rank 9 now. She would probably be invited too, right? She had just broken through to rank 9. Once she went on the battlefield, the probability of her dying was very high. However, she had the blessing of her sister, Nan Yunhua, so she might not die. Jiang Chao was conflicted. He was conflicted. Fang Ping and Warlord looked at Jiang Chao. What was this fatty thinking? He looked like he was struggling. Did he know that a war might break out in the Shishan catacombs? Seeing that Jiang Chao was still deep in thought, the battle monarch casually slapped him, causing Jiang Chao's head to spin. Ignoring this fellow, Warlord laughed. Then I'll leave first. No, that bastard Zhang Tao left Magic City to me. Forget it, I'll stay for a few more days. Little fatty, you can cultivate in MCMAU these few days. There's plenty of energy here. Eat the heavenly golden lotus and strive to achieve peak rank 7 as soon as possible. Hone your skull. Hearing that, Jiang Chao said eagerly, when I reach rank 8, then I can quickly achieve golden body 5 or 6. When he said that, Fang Ping was stunned. Where did his confidence come from? Warlord coughed softly. Without another word, he dragged Fatty and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Fang Ping's expression changed slightly. There was a secret. Warlord had a secret. Fatty had reached rank 8 and quickly achieved golden body 5 or 6? One had to know that to improve one's golden body, not only did one need a large amount of imperishable substance, but one also needed to increase mentality. How could Fatty reach 5 or 6 so quickly? I have to remember this. It might be beneficial. He was still thinking when Qinyunqi, who had been silent all this while, said strangely, "This is Warlord?" Fang Ping nodded and smiled. That's him. Lived for a few hundred years and guarded Mount Royal Sea for a few hundred years? Yes. Qinyunqi had a complicated look in her eyes. I thought the senior who guarded Mount Royal Sea for a few hundred years would be the cold kind, incomparably tall and stern. As she said that, Qinyunqi thought for a while and said, just like Commander Li, cold and mysterious. Fang Ping pursed his lips. The image of Absolute Peak has long collapsed in my heart. Ever since the first time I was tricked by Absolute Peak, I felt that Absolute Peak had no image to speak of. As for Commander Li, I didn't have much contact with him, but he is indeed cold and mysterious. Zhang Tao, pay up. Just as Fang Ping and Qinyunqi were discussing Li Jin looked determined and said angrily, 2,000 caddies. No, at least 3,000 caddies. You didn't come back these few days, so I couldn't find you. Now that I'm back, it's time to pay up. This time, there are 4 true kings hunting me down. The old monk from the ancient Buddha sacred land almost went crazy with anger and almost chased me out. We agreed on 2,000 caddies for two more, at least 1,000 caddies. Zhang Tao frowned. Have some image. You're the military department's commander, not a street vendor, not a debt collector. 2,000 caddies, 3,000 caddies, do you think we're doing business? You're the leader of the Sino Nation military department, after all. Is this how you lead the military department? Zhang Tao was extremely serious, but Li Jin scolded. Don't give me that. I'm warning you, I couldn't win against you in an argument before, and I'm too lazy to argue with you. I'm not going to argue with you now. Pay up quickly, or Nan Yunwei and I will deal with you together. Zhang Tao was speechless. After a while he said, 2,000 caddies for you, 1,000 caddies for Nan Yunwei, is that enough? All right, I still have things to do, don't come looking for me when you have nothing to do, things to do, Li Jin said without batting an eyelid. It's like this, there have been many battles in the military department recently. I'm planning to recruit a batch of martial artists into the military. The main force is martial arts university students, but martial arts universities belong to the Ministry of Education, so orders can't be transmitted smoothly, so I'm planning to assign some martial arts universities to, forget it. Zhang Tao did not wait for him to finish, sneered and said, You want to assign MCMAU to the military department? Li Jin, are you playing tricks with me? In your dreams. Didn't you and Fang Ping have a falling out recently? I'll go and smooth things over. When the situation gets better, I'll forget it. Zhang Tao said without batting an eyelid. Don't mention this, it's useless. Isn't this kid angry that I didn't help MCMAU this time? He has a bad temper, he can't turn around, I'm too lazy to say anything. If he gets into trouble again. Just you wait, I guarantee he'll come crying to me. Is there any use in counting on you guys? When the time comes, I'll show him how much I've sacrificed for him. The next time a true king comes after him, I won't run, I'll find a true king to fight for 300 rounds and suffer heavy injuries. Can this kid be a match for me? I'm a martial king, but I was almost beaten to death by the catacombs' true king for a kid. He'll be so touched he'll kneel down and cry. Zhang Tao chuckled. It's just a small problem. It's nothing. This time, MC Meiyu's counterattack is almost over. When the time comes, the Green Wolf King and the others will probably come. Remember, cooperate. You guys go to one side and fight, I'll fight them. If you're seriously injured, remember to perform well. Li Jin was dumbfounded. After a while, he said helplessly, Is that necessary? I said you're stupid, forget it. Zhang Tao shook his head. This idiot, did he really think that he was pretending to be injured to smooth things over with Fang Ping? Zhang Tao took a deep breath and said in a low voice, I'm pretending to be injured so that the catacombs' true king has enough energy to deal with the martial kings. It's not just me, you're pretending too, make it worse. This time, there's going to be a great battle. Let them think that they've hurt us, beat us until we don't dare to make a sound. Only then will they feel at ease. Otherwise, with us eyeing them, would they dare to start a war with the two kings? Aren't you afraid that we'll benefit from it? Of course, it could not be too weak, it could not be too tragic. In short, it had to be a little bigger. The three major catacombs would be at war at the same time, and the paragons would be at war at the same time. It would be best if it erupted into a battle between dozens of paragons. In short, we have to beat them until they are afraid. But at the same time, we have to cripple ourselves. Beat them until they think that it's best not to attack the human world at this time. Beat them until they think that we're no match for them and that we can still kill them. Between us and the second king, let them choose the second king. Li Jin said solemnly. Acting again? This degree was a little difficult to grasp. It was too weak. They didn't believe it. If we are weak, they might turn around and attack the human world, thinking that we are all just for show. He's too strong. They didn't dare to attack the two kings, but instead joined forces with the two kings. Zhang Tao pondered for a moment and said, It's a little difficult. Of course, it's only so for you. You don't have to act. You're really hurt. This time, you put your life on the line and killed a true monarch, the kind where you were heavily injured. You made the other party afraid, but not to the point of death. In short, they are dead, and we are heavily injured. Let them think that they can get rid of us. That's more or less enough. Once this big show is done, we can sit back and watch the show. Previously, when the Life Monarch probed the place where the kings fought, the two kings exposed some secrets. The Life Monarch probably already knows some of the truth. Speaking of this, Legion sat down and said solemnly, "If the Catacombs' true monarch and the two kings fight, who do you think will win? Also, if the Catacombs' true monarch really has a top-notch powerhouse who has seized the two kings' origins? The two kings are powerhouses who have at least 3 paths. When that time comes, Zhang Tao, then you're in trouble of your own making. Although others have comprehended 3 paths, they may not be able to go very far. But for someone like the Life Monarch, once he has really taken 5 paths, even if the other 3 paths are very short, his strength will still increase exponentially. And these people like the Life Monarch have been operating for many years. Their foundations are deeper than the two kings. When the Great War breaks out, we'll really be in big trouble." Zhang Tao took a deep breath and said slowly, "Fighting for survival in the face of death, this is a helpless move. Compared to this, we have no better choice. Actually, I also hope that both sides will suffer heavy casualties. If 70 to 80 true monarchs die, do we still need to be afraid of the catacombs? But this is not realistic. If 3 to 5 true monarchs die, maybe the war will stop. Therefore, I hope that both sides will be in a stalemate, with both sides suffering heavy casualties." Zhang Tao said a few words, then sighed and said, "It depends on luck. It's impossible that everything will go according to our plan. Also, let the fallen star army enter the Shishan catacombs and wait for the Great War. Let Zhang Weiyu go to Shijiang's catacombs. This time, let Zhang Weiyu exchange with a few catacombs strong rank 9s. Let Zhang Weiyu come out alive, but he must be seriously injured and on the verge of death. Don't break through in the catacombs. No, it's best to let others think that his breakthrough hope has been interrupted. Just like Kong Lingyuan years ago, let him go into closed-door cultivation. Breakthrough in closed-door cultivation. This way, we can hide a paragon." Li Zhen had a headache. He said, "You make it sound so simple. If he's injured but not dead, it will make others think that there's no hope for a breakthrough. This is easy to say, but if he's not careful, Zhang Weiyu will be dead. There's no such thing as a perfect plan. If it doesn't work, then escape is the priority." Zhang Tao laughed and said, "There's no harm in trying. Humans can't have any more paragon breakthroughs. People are breaking through one after another. Can the catacombs wait any longer? Killing a few rank 9s is not worth it. Not only Zhang Weiyu, but also Wu Quishan." Zhang Tao frowned and said, "If these 2 people break through, it's best if they do it on the ground and hide it. Especially at this time, we can't let the catacombs find out that there are 2 more paragons in our Sino nation. Otherwise, it won't be an internal strife in the catacombs, but an alliance against us." Li Zhen pondered and said, "Hiding it is more difficult." "I know. When we get back, you, me, Nan Yunwei, and the rest will join forces and create a seal so that they can break through and hide inside. When the big battle starts, they can play a bigger role. If there are 2 more paragons suddenly, maybe we can catch them off guard and kill 1 or 2 true king powerhouses." "Got it." Li Zhen nodded slightly, deep in thought. Seeing this, Zhang Tao said again, "What are you waiting for? Go and make the arrangements. I also have something to make arrangements here. Don't you always come to my place? Isn't the military department busy? Don't they calculate the battle results in Capital City? How are things going over at the Forbidden Catacombs? How's the population migrated? Also, you better go and take a look at the Forbidden Sea. Don't let anything happen there. Also, the Capital Catacombs is ours now. We don't have to keep watch at Mount Royal Sea. Let Nen Yunhui have time to go to the Forbidden Land to intimidate them. Also, the military department said they want to recruit 1,000,000 soldiers. Has it been done? Li Jin, are you okay? Are you very free? Li Jin was helpless, but he knew that he still had many things to do. Without further ado, he left quickly. Before he left, he thought, I seem to have forgotten something. That's right, what did I forget? Zhang Tao did not care about him. He would not tell Li Jin that this guy came for energy stones, but he had already forgotten about it before he left. He did not remind Li Jin either. After Li Jin left, he murmured, This time, we have to make use of the Magic City battle to make a big move. Only then can we push the catacombs and the two kings against each other. But to fight for no reason, this is too deliberate. It has to be the kind that happens unintentionally. Even us humans didn't expect a big battle to break out. If that's the case, the key is still in Magic City. Zhang Tao looked into the distance, in the direction of MC Meiyu. This matter might still depend on Fang Ping. He stirred up trouble. This time, he had to stir up trouble, stir up something big, anger the true king, make the true king break his vows and cross Mount Royal Sea to kill him, anger the other party. What kind of trouble could he stir up to make the true king so angry? Make the true king so angry that he doesn't care about anything. We'll take advantage of the situation and fight passively. Seize the opportunity to break out into a great all-out war, but it's not a battle of life and death. Zhang Tao repeated over and over again, deep in thought, considering. This matter was very difficult. He had to be careful of the human's peak really falling. Also, he had to control the limit, and not let a great all-out war really happen. For a moment, Zhang Tao felt a headache coming on. The other key point was still in Magic City. What should that kid Fang Ping do? Should he go and give him some pointers? However, his pointers told him that he hoped for a great all-out war to break out. With this kid's personality, once he went overboard, it might really break out into a battle of life and death. Limit! This is difficult. Should I say it or not? If I say it, it'll be troublesome. He's unscrupulous. If I don't say it, it'll be troublesome. He might not be able to start a war. Zhang Tao was thinking about this. As for Fang Ping, he had just finished chatting with Qing Yunxi and was also thinking about something. If I get into big trouble this time, old Zhang won't sit by and watch, right? However, both of them had fallen out previously. If he got into trouble again, this old man might really sit by and watch. When that time came, he would say, You'll take responsibility for the trouble you caused yourself. Fang Ping felt depressed. This is difficult. Control the limit. I can't anger the true king too much, or else the battle king might not be able to hold on. But once the war starts, how do I control the limit? Also, I'm a target that both the royal houses want to kill. My appearance in the catacombs is already a problem, but if I don't go, it'll be even more troublesome. Without me, the people of MCMAU will be sent to their deaths. For a moment, Fang Ping felt a headache coming on. This limit was not easy to measure. According to previous habits, this matter should be left to Zhang Tao to consider. Now, however, everyone had fallen out, and Fang Ping was ignoring him. Why would he want to discuss it? However, if he did not discuss it properly, this war would be difficult to fight. Also, a war is burning money. I'm afraid I'll have to fork out countless wealth points this time to recoup my capital. Otherwise, I'll be finished even if I just sit and eat. Recouping my capital will be troublesome. Should I go and discuss it with him? We'll talk about it later. Fang Ping's head hurt. He planned to wait until he went to the bounded boundaries and came back to discuss it. He planned to go in and take a look at this big brother of the Jiao. After that, he would think about the next deployment. Chapter 789. After Zhang Tao left, Warlord took charge of Magic City. After Warlord took charge of Magic City, Jiang Chao also began to cultivate in MC Meiyu. This time, Warlord had obtained a heavenly golden lotus and 3 golden fruits from Fang Ping for him. These were all preparations for him to achieve rank 8. With Pudgy Jiang around, a lot of things were much easier. In the underground passageway, Warlord felt that he had been especially busy recently. He was busy forging 100 king coins and helping Fang Ping modify his rank 9 battle axe, turning it into a saber. Not only that, but MC Mayu's 3 Origins martial artists often came to ask him questions. Warlord also knew these martial artists. They were resurrected martial artists who had been living in Star Town. Warlord was surprised that the 3 of them had entered rank 9 Origins so quickly. Before he was done, Fang Ping came over to curry favor with him. Seeing Fang Ping now, Warlord felt a headache coming on. This kid had a lot of things to do. He had to come and talk to him for trivial things. He was very busy, okay. However, this time, Fang Ping came to Warlord not for Magic City, but for his own matters. In the underground hall, Fang Ping was all smiles, bringing Pudgy Jiang along. Pudgy Jiang was a stepping stone. When they reached the underground hall, Fang Ping left Pudgy Jiang aside and went to play by himself. Ignoring the resentful look in Jiang Chao's eyes, Fang Ping sat down opposite Warlord and said respectfully, "Senior, Fang Ping is actually here to ask some questions about martial arts cultivation. You're experienced and knowledgeable. I think I'll learn a lot with just a few words of advice. Speak." Warlord produced 100 king coins while waiting for his questions. This kid had so many questions that he did not want to stay in Magic City anymore. Star Town was still quiet. First, about rank 8 breaking through to rank 9. Rank 9 is divided into weak rank 9 and Origins rank 9. In my opinion, there's no difference between weak rank 9 and rank 8. So, how is this distinction made? What's the difference between them? Warlord shook his head and said, "You can ask those rank 9s about these things. Most of them should know. Looks like you don't pay attention in class." After giving Fang Ping a blow, Warlord said, "The biggest difference between rank 9 and rank 8 is the understanding of Origins Dao. The gap between them was naturally in their comprehension of the quintessence Dao. A weak rank 9 was only relatively speaking. Rank 9 was actually a metamorphosis. There are tens of thousands of Daos in the world, but no one can say for sure how many martial paths there are. Everyone's path is different." The Warlord smiled and continued, "Let's talk about the Catacombs Lord. What Dao does the Lord cultivate? The Dao of the people. In fact, there were humans who walked this path as well. However, the myriad paths that each of them walked. Although it was called the Myriad People Path, it was actually different. There were so many different martial arts paths. How should he proceed after reaching peak rank 8? The so-called 9th stage was actually a transformation of oneself through understanding. First of all, you have to know what path you want to walk. Once you have determined your path, you have to lay the foundation. The Tao of origin was formless and intangible. In truth, it was not a Tao that existed, but an unknown Tao. You have to walk on this road yourself. You have to build and repair it yourself. The Warlord continued, "The so-called weak rank 9 and rank 9 of quintessence Tao are actually both rank 9. The difference is that the weak rank 9 is the kind that has just laid the foundation, and hasn't even taken the first step. This is the difference between a rank 8 and a weak rank 9. When a martial artist has determined what path he wants to walk and has dug the first shovel, at this time, he has actually roughly determined the direction of his martial arts path. Of course, this is a general direction. What we call understanding the Tao of origin is actually taking the first step in the truest sense." When Fang Ping heard this, he generally understood what he meant. He said, "In other words, the difference between a rank 8 and a weak rank 9 is actually in the foundation and confirmation of the path? And the difference between a weak rank 9 and a rank 9 of quintessence Tao is that one has not taken the first step, while the other has already taken the first step and started walking forward? You can understand it that way. Then what exactly is the Tao of origin?" Fang Ping still could not understand. He frowned slightly and said, I'm already a rank 8 7th stage now. Logically speaking, at my level, many people have already achieved rank 9. But I actually don't feel any signs of rank 9 at all. The warlord was not surprised at all. He laughed and said, "How long have you been in contact with martial arts? Do you really understand martial arts? Many geniuses are also stuck at this stage. Of course, the truth is, no one is as fast as you. You're really faster than everyone's imagination. More than 2 years, a rank 8 7th stage. For more than 2 years, you don't even have time to cultivate. Where would you have the time to think about these things? This thing about the Tao of origin is very difficult to explain to you." The warlord pondered for a while and said, "From the perspective of the growth of strength, the Tao of origin is a power amplifier. However, this power amplifier is created by you. Different people create different amplifiers, and the effects are also different. As for the principle and structure of the amplifier, you don't understand it, so you can't create it. When you understand it, you can naturally create an amplifier that belongs to you. But this needs to be understood." The warlord pondered for a while again and said, "Let's talk about your vice-chancellor, Wu Kuishin's Tao of origin. Actually, we don't know what it is either. But in general, we can guess that it might be a kind of love, a kind of care, a kind of protection. This is actually also a kind of power, the power of the subconscious. He loves his wife and his daughter, so he wants to protect them. It's a kind of excavation and development of potential. His daughter died, and his wife has always wanted revenge. So, in order to protect his wife and to avenge his daughter, this is actually not the power of hatred, but the power of protection." Fang Ping could not help but laugh. "That mysterious?" "Yes, it's that mysterious." The warlord laughed and said, "The Tao of origin is actually very mysterious. It's martial arts. When one cultivates to rank 8, the flesh has already been developed to the extreme. After rank 8, actually, when humans practice martial arts, they are already at another level. From rank 1 to rank 8, everyone is developing existing things, developing the potential that originally belongs to humans. Your golden body is strong, your flesh is strong, these are actually all your own abilities, but you just didn't develop them, letting these abilities be hidden. After reaching rank 8, it's a new beginning. At this time, it's a little mysterious, strengthening oneself from another level." "Then how should I understand the Tao of origin?" Fang Ping said doubtfully. "I don't even know what the Tao of origin is. In other words, how to build this amplifier. I don't know anything. If you ask me to build it now, I think I almost can't build it. You don't have enough experience, that's why you have such doubts." The warlord laughed and said, "Most of the others, it's the accumulation of time, the accumulation of years. They have seen a lot, experienced a lot. I'm not talking about simple battles. Local customs, life experiences, the death of wives, children, the passage of time. These are all accumulation. You don't have these, so you don't know, and you don't understand." As the warlord said that, he thought for a while and said, "As for you, it's best to find some powerhouses who have fallen on the Tao of origin like Rose City Lord. If there are remnants of the origin, you can try to study it. What does it feel like to study other people's structures? But this kind of opportunity is too rare. Even if it's us, if we kill a rank 9, we might not be able to keep the other party's Tao of origin. If you learn from the mistakes of others, it'll be much easier for you to construct your own Tao of origin. Of course, this can easily cause a problem," the warlord said in a low voice. "It's not impossible to imitate, follow the trend, or even copy and plagiarize, but that's not your own thing, you can't become the strongest. You copied someone else's Tao, but you still don't understand it. Then you may become the second person, but you can't become yourself. Powerhouses all walk their own Tao, walk to the deepest depths, walk to the end. They know how they should go on, know what they need, know what is most suitable for them, and at this time, they can become powerhouses. As for those martial artists who walk on someone else's Tao, they will never become the strongest. At most, they will become the second person. Fang Ping nodded and said, Then, if I study the Tao of hundreds of Tao powerhouses, analyze their strengths and weaknesses, discard the dross, and create my own Tao of origin, will I become stronger? The warlord laughed again and said, First, there are not hundreds of powerhouses who will give you this opportunity. Second, how can you be sure that what you discard is the dross and not the essence? Third, it's easy to say, but the more you see, the more choices you have. At this time, you will also be lost, confused. The warlord said in a low voice, A person, if there are hundreds of Tao of origin for you to walk on, and every one of them seems to lead to the strongest point, how will you choose? Are you confident that the Tao that you build on yourself will be longer than others? The more you see, the more confused you will be. At this time, it is a test of a person's determination and courage. If you fuse, you may fuse into something that is either. You put a dog's head on a cat's body, what is this? The warlord continued. However, if you eliminate these prerequisites, actually, if you have the opportunity to study hundreds of Tao, there is someone who can teach you. The warlord laughed. Zhang Tao. Zhang Tao, this guy, why is he so strong? His Tao is the Tao of coalescence. It's somewhat similar to what you've said. The warlord chuckled. It is said that there is only one Tao in the end. Actually, we also agree with this saying, but before the end, the Tao is still separated. If we walk on one or both of them, there is hope that we can reach the end. As for Zhang Tao, he is also walking on one, but that guy is not walking on the ordinary Tao. His Tao of coalescence is actually a Tao that is constantly comprehending new Tao, constantly integrating it into his own Tao. Seeing that Fang Ping did not quite understand, the warlord organized his words and said, Let me put it this way. He is actually walking on a Tao that eliminates other Tao. He comprehended a new Tao, but as soon as he started, he cut off this Tao and integrated it into his Tao of coalescence, or rather, the Tao of coalescence was integrated into this new Tao. Whoever is strong will exist. Whoever is strong will be able to walk to the end. He is constantly eliminating other Tao, leaving only one in the end, but this method is too difficult. The warlord sighed. There is a limit to a person's energy. It is difficult for a martial artist to walk on one Tao in his life, and he still has to walk on countless Tao. How difficult is it to nurture venomous insects from countless Tao and leave behind the strongest one? If we have the time, we would rather walk on a second Tao, two Tao, and walk on it together. It is much easier than what he did. Just like us, if we encounter two ferocious tiger cubs, we may cultivate them together, thinking that we will eventually cultivate two ferocious tigers. As for Zhang Tao, he will let the two tiger cubs fight, letting the strong devour the weak. He thinks that cultivating them this way will make them stronger. Fang Ping understood. Then, he rubbed his chin and said, When you put it that way, I think that the minister's Tao is indeed very strong. Cultivating two tigers will consume a lot of resources. We can't concentrate on cultivating one ferocious tiger. However, we still have to look at the upper limit. If the upper limit is the same, then of course it is better to cultivate two tigers. In the end, two ferocious tigers will definitely be stronger than one. It is hard to say whether this is good or bad. The warlord nodded. Just as he nodded, Fang Ping said, But the minister's mentality is so strong. I think that it will not be a problem for him to walk. Senior, what do you think? The warlord was speechless. Soon, he shook his head and said, You don't understand. He looks strong, but that is built on the foundation of his true talent. If he did not walk on the Tao of coalescence, but the same Tao as the others, he might have already walked on 2 or even 3 Tao. The warlord sighed. Many people find it difficult to comprehend one Tao in their lifetime, but Zhang Tao. He comprehended the origin Tao. It was easy. If you have seen him attack, you can actually see a book, Fang Ping said quickly. I have seen it before. When he attacked, a crystal book appeared. Lofty ambition. The warlord sighed again. Words are actually the manifestation of a Tao. Take Heavenly King Jin's Tao for example. One of the Tao is suppress. The manifestation of my Tao is destroy. The Yang families is kill. What does Zhang Tao want to do? Unification of Tao. Li Changxing's unification of Tao is to abandon other Tao and only walk on one. His unification of Tao is to truly devour thousands of Tao and integrate all Tao into his Tao of coalescence. When he creates a book, a few pages are just a few Tao. If one day, his book becomes 10,000 pages, then it will be unification of Tao. But how difficult is this Tao to walk? Actually, he has already comprehended a few Tao now. Of course, it is just the tip of the iceberg. He did not go deep, just a taste, which is what you call the weak rank 9 Tao. Once he has a rough shape, he will integrate his Tao of coalescence. Fang Ping's eyes flickered. This Tao. I think it is quite suitable for me. Senior, how many Tao has the minister walked on now? I think he has 3, right? I'm not sure. If he doesn't go all out, who knows how many he has walked? Fang Ping muttered. Using these embryonic Tao to feed my own Tao and strengthen myself. You don't say. The minister has quite an idea, but it is indeed difficult for him to do this. Even if his talent is terrifying to the extreme, comprehending a Tao embryonic form in a year, until now, it has only been less than 20 years. I'll count it as 20. Using 20 embryonic Tao to feed his own Tao is already so terrifying. What if he comprehended 1 Tao a day and fed it? Would it be stronger than him? This Tao of coalescence is too difficult for him. Coalescence Tao is a little interesting. Warlord looked at him like he was looking at an idiot. What are you talking about? 1 Tao a day? Are you treating me as an idiot, or are you treating yourself as an idiot? Zhang Tao did not even mention 20 Tao. Zhang Tao had just achieved the peak not many years ago. Even if he started preparing for this when he was a rank 9, after so many years, comprehending 10 Tao embryonic forms, that was not considered human anymore. That fellow was too scary. Comprehending a new Tao in 1 or 2 years, was that something a human could do? Fang Ping, on the other hand, was thinking even more. Fang Ping did not care about what Warlord was thinking. He rubbed his chin and said, Minister, this coalescence Tao has really given me a lot of inspiration, but there is one more point that I am not too sure about. Does his coalescence Tao exist from the start, or is it a combination of other Tao paths? If it exists from the start, then what is he using as a foundation? Strengthening the trunk and letting the other branches provide nutrients for the trunk. This is probably the minister's idea. Then, if I also walk on the coalescence Tao, what will my trunk be? Fang Ping fell into deep thought. After all, he still had to prepare a main Tao for himself to walk on. The other Tao origins were a kind of filler. In fact, according to Fa Ping's understanding, if there was no way forward on his main Tao path, he would dig up the soil and stones from other Tao paths and then use them to fill up his main Tao path, paving it continuously. To others, this was very difficult, but to him, it might not be so. If the system could allow him to comprehend other Tao paths, perhaps he could also walk many Tao paths. However, the Tao paths were too scattered, and each path required a lot of energy to walk. It was better to dismantle the other small Tao paths and integrate them into the Tao, making the Tao foundation more solid. The path that old Zhang wants to walk might be right. But he doesn't have the chance to walk further because he doesn't have my ability. Fang Ping suspected that if old Zhang had the system's ability, perhaps he would really walk hundreds of Tao paths and integrate them into himself. Even if they were all embryonic Tao paths, they might be much stronger than they were now. It's a pity that you don't have this chance. Fang Ping shook his head. Forget it. Since you can't walk on it, then I'll walk on your behalf. I want to walk on the coalescence Tao too. Coalescence Tao. I'll first determine my own main Tao path, then I'll comprehend other Tao paths and integrate them into the trunk. 1 step a day, I'll walk longer than old Zhang in a few days. Fang Ping suddenly laughed, grinning from ear to ear. When that time came, he would also use the coalescence Tao to fight old Zhang. He flipped a few pages in his book. If he flipped hundreds or thousands of pages, would he break down? I don't necessarily need to use books. This is self-embodiment. I have to think about what I should use to embody it. Fan Ping was not thinking blindly. The current him had already reached rank 8-7 refinements. Logically speaking, rank 9 was close at hand. It was also time to think about rank 9. If the following 8 and 9 refinements were difficult to walk, he could comprehend the origin Tao and advance to rank 9 directly. It was a two-way choice. After roughly understanding the origin Tao, Fan Ping did not continue to ask. Soon, Fan Ping said, breaking through rank 9 from rank 8 is the first question. I still want to ask a few more questions. Secondly, how many rank 9 powerhouses are there in Sino Nation? I've seen some powerhouses guarding Mount Royal Sea before. They were all rank 9. There might also be rank 9 existences in some other boundaries. Senior, there are more than 48 rank 9s in Sino Nation. Can you tell me exactly how many there are? This is not a secret. Warlord laughed. It's normal for some people not to be on the list. After all, the list has only been out for a few years. Many people don't even show their faces. The list won't record them unless they appear in the outside world and are known by others. There are 48 people on the list now. In fact, in the Mount Royal Sea area, there are probably... Warlord calculated for a while and said quickly, there are still about 15 rank 9s guarding. Sino Nation has opened 24 catacombs passageways. A few of them are unguarded because the Paragon stays there for a long time. However, some Paragons don't stay there for a long time. Someone needs to keep an eye on them. There should be about 15 people. There's not much difference between the top and the bottom. I haven't been to some areas for a long time. I don't know the specific situation now. Also, there are 8 boundaries. You took the Chen families away. In Tianan, the Yang family is almost all dead. No humans have entered the Magic City catacombs. There's no one in the first grotto heaven either. It's the place guarded by the Li family's old geezer. There's no one from the Jiang family at Nanjiang that I'm guarding. In other words, there are still 4 boundaries that are being studied by the juniors of other families in Stars City. I'm not sure exactly how many people there are. However, there are still 2 or 3 rank 9s in one area. If there are 4 areas, there should be about 10 people. Warlord thought for a while and said, also, there are actually a few weak rank 9s in the King Battleground. I didn't count them. There are about 4 or 5 of them. They stay there for a long time. Unless they officially take the first step on Origin Path, they won't leave. That's about 15 people. Including those at Mount Royal Sea, there are about 30 people in total. Warlord laughed. That's it. There are about 30 people left. Including the 50 people now, there should be about 80 rank 9 martial artists in Sino Nation. As he said that, he added, after eliminating Zhang Tao and the others, there are about 80 people left. There are also 5 or 6 people from the government who didn't make the list. It should be enough to fill their spots. About 80 people. Fan Ping said emotionally. Now I really understand Sino Nation's strength. It's stronger than I thought. According to this strength, it won't be a problem to pacify a few catacombs. Warlord laughed. Pacify the catacombs? Actually, we've been controlling the scale of the war between us and the catacombs. It can't be too big. If it's too big, it'll be a crisis for humanity. Fighting the catacombs is to let them know that we're not weak. Let them understand our willingness to fight. Of course, the most important thing is to seize resources. This is the reason for the existence of the war in the foreign lands. The purpose of the catacombs is to train soldiers, and also to suppress us, to prevent our strength from growing too fast. Actually, some of the passageways in the catacombs could have been opened a long time ago. Why haven't they been opened all this time? Why are they opening them so frequently now? They just don't give us time to complete the opening of the 108 passageways quickly and completely break open the barrier between the two worlds. I understand this. Fang Ping continued. This junior has a third question, which is also the last one. Humans, have you found a new planet that's suitable for us to live on? Warlord chuckled and shook his head. No, it's not that simple. Many years ago, someone mentioned that we should stop fighting and find a new place to live. Aren't the catacombs going to invade Earth? We'll just leave. If we can't win, then we'll leave. However, after so many years, there have actually been peerless powerhouses who have left Earth to explore the universe, but in the end, they found nothing. This is actually good. If there really was a way out, the current situation might not be like this. It's because there's no way out that everyone can resist the catacombs together. Because if Earth is lost, people like us will be rootless duckweed. Based on the situation in the catacombs, ordinary people might really have a way out. But there are dozens of desperate realm powerhouses in the catacombs. If it were you, would you dare to put these people who have lost their country and are so powerful that they could take their heads at any time in front of your house? Therefore, when that time comes, even if we suffer heavy losses, even if we retreat to defend a region, we will still be surrounded and killed. Warlord laughed. This is good too. But don't say, although we haven't found a place to live, countries are still working together to create a final retreat. Maybe after a few years, you young people will really wander the universe. When that time comes, whether you live or die will depend on your luck. Maybe after wandering for a few hundred years, you can also find a new place to live. At this realm, it's hard to die even after a few hundred years. Fang Ping chuckled. I'm not going to wander. Lock myself in a space capsule every day? If I live in a black box for a few hundred years, I'd rather stay. The people in the catacombs might not be able to find me. Fang Ping was done with his questions. When he was done talking, he said, Senior, I'm preparing to go to the Magic City catacombs this month. I'll have to trouble you to send me there. Sure. It just so happens that your divine weapon has been modified too. Warlord tossed a chong out to Fang Ping, chuckling. Don't use a divine weapon like an ordinary weapon. Don't waste a rank 9 divine weapon. Even Polaris City doesn't have many of them. This divine weapon came from a giant crocodile. Its strength was not weak when it was alive. If it's used properly, the giant crocodile will also have the combat strength of a weak rank 9 at critical moments. Of course, it depends on your control of the divine weapon and the mentality you need to provide. A weak rank 9's combat strength is where the divine weapon comes in. At critical moments, use the divine weapon to block disasters, block people, besiege, escape. These are all great weapons. A weak rank 9 can also block powerhouses in the path of origin for a long time. Don't always treat a divine weapon like an alloy weapon. You can keep it as a pet. Fang Ping understood. He chuckled again. I know this. It's just that I've improved too quickly. I don't have much time to control these. After all, Senior, you know that it's only been 2 years and I'm almost rank 9. The rank 7 and rank 8 divine weapons from before are of limited use to me now. Warlord was speechless for a moment. After a while, he said sullenly, All right, you can go back first. Don't come to me if there's nothing important. Right now, he suddenly had the urge to beat someone up. You're tuning into the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.